Test 1, 2, test 1, 2.
Should I switch to auto? Ready? Okay, now it's an auto. Are you sure the number 3 is a little bright, or is that just me? Yeah, the whites are a little washed out.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to River Football! Tonight we get a chance to honor our seniors tonight, and we're going to get started right off with our first senior, number 1, Sean Rayne. Sean is escorted by his mom, Alina. He's been 6 years in football as a wide receiver and safety. His future plans are to study biology at Central Washington University, and his words of thanks are, thank you to the coaches for teaching me not only techniques for football, but important life lessons. Thank you to my brother in purple for pushing me every day and giving me support when I needed it. Words to the team, this family taught me to play not only just for myself, but for you guys. Welcome again, number 1, Sean Rayne. Next, let's honor one of the captains for the team, number 3, Keith Blau, who's escorted by his father, John, and his mother, Kim. He's been 4 years in the sport as a wide receiver. Yes, he's one of the captains, and his future plans are to attend a 4-year university and study engineering. His words of thanks are, thank you to my family, friends, coaches, teammates, and teachers for pushing me on and off the field to be the best that I can be. I'm thankful for all the amazing memories, and I wouldn't be where I am today without you all. Words to the team, nothing is guaranteed. Play every snap like it's your last and play for each other. Welcome again, number 3, your captain, Keith Blau. Next, we have number 5, another one of your captains, Max Sturdivant. He's escorted by his mom, Julie, and his dad, Joe. He's been 4 years in the sport as a wide receiver and safety. His future plans are 4 years college in California, studying biology to become a high school teacher and coach. His words of thanks, I can't express the appreciation I have for everyone involved in this program. You have truly had an everlasting impact on my life, and I will eternally be grateful for the consistent brotherhood and friendships. Words for the team, if you have ever needed anything or want for anything to talk to, I am always here. Again, number 5, your captain, Max Sturdivant. Next, number 8, Mason Purdy. He's escorted by his dad, Rob, and his mom, Carla. He's been 4 years in the sport as quarterback and quarterback. He's been undecided as his future plans, and his words of thanks are, love you boys here for 4 years. Each and every one of you are great. Thank you, coaches, for all of the support. That's Mason Purdy, number 8. Next we have number 10, Jacob Heirs. He's escorted by his mom, Nicole, and his father, Scott. He's been 4 years in the sport, and his positions have been wide receiver and his corner. Next, his future plans are 4 years at the university, and he's studying pre-med. Words of thanks. I want to thank my family, coaches, and everyone who supported me up to this point. I'm thankful to be part of a program with a strong work ethic and a common goal. Words to the team. I'm really proud of this team. Remember to enjoy the journey because it isn't all about the destination. Again, number 10, Jacob Heirs. Next we have number 11, Ethan Arnett. Ethan's being escorted by his mom, Angela, and his dad, Lyle. 4 years in the sport at safety and wide receiver. His future plans are going to WSU in business. His words of thanks, I appreciate everything the coaches and my teammates have done for me over the past 4 years of being in this program. I just want to let you know how much you have helped me to grow and overcome the obstacles in my life. You have shown us how to really work hard and how it does pay off and set us up for success. To you, the team, he says, the great thing about football is that after a while you become more than teammates, you become brothers. Again, number 11, Ethan Arnett. Number 13, Kate Lujan, escorted by his mother Bobby and father Mike. 4 years in the sport as a kicker and wide receiver. His future plans are to attend a 4-year university. His words of thanks are, I would like to thank my teammates and coaches for making these past 4 years so special. And my mom and my dad and the rest of my family for supporting me through everything. Words to the team, hey, you guys make the most out of every opportunity. Give it up again for number 13, Kate Lujan. All right, we've got number 19, Samuela Kamatule, who's escorted by his mom, Pena, and our sister, Malia. He's been a defensive end and a tight end over the last 40 years, and his words of thanks are, thank you for my team who pushes me to do the best I can all the time. Thank you to my mother who drives me to be better than I was yesterday and for feeding me all the time. His words to the team, I met my closest friends here and I am grateful for my team, who, as I can see it, is my family. All right, give it up again for number 19, Samuela Kamotale. Next is number 40, Eddie Halter, who's escorted by his dad, Lonnie, and his mom, Jennifer. 4 years in the sport as running back and linebacker. And his future plans are college, and his words of thanks are, thank you, parents and brothers and friends, for showing me love and support. Thank you, teammates and coaches, for making the sport fun and supporting me. Thank you to all my family for watching me play this year. I love all of you, and thank you. I couldn't have done it without all of you. And to his team, he says, do something that makes you happy. Follow your dreams and never give up on anything. Again, number 40, Eddie Halter. And next we have number 54, Dylan Dean, escorted by his mom Lisa and father Kevin. He's been 4 years, in the sport of football, 10 years, and he's been an offensive and defensive lineman. His future plans, play football and study business at Central Washington University. His words of thanks, I would like to thank God for giving me the opportunity to play as well as my family and friends for supporting me along the way. I would like to thank my mom and dad for always being my biggest fans. And to the team, patience and perseverance ultimately pays off. Again, give it up for number 54, Dylan Dean. Next we have number 55, Brighton Oswald. He's escorted by his mom, Mona, and his father, Philip. He's been 3 years as a defensive end and offensive tackle. And his future plans are to join the Marine Corps. Would you give it up for one of our future servicemen? His words of thanks, thank you to my mother, my father, all of the coaches that have helped me along my path. Yo, DP, give me 2! His words to the team, go after it. Give it up again for number 55, Brighton Oswald. Next we have number 60, Hunter Wilson, escorted by his mom, Catherine, and his dad, Mike. He's been 4 years at River as defensive end. He's been a defensive end and tackle. His future plans, right now undecided, but he'll figure it out. His words of thanks, thanks to my parents, coaches, and team for all the memories and the time we have spent together. Words to the team, have fun and enjoy high school. Life changes once we are out of here. Again, give it up for number 60, Hunter Wilson. Next we have one of your captains, number 62, Caden Craig. He's escorted by his father, Charles, and his mother, Amy. This is his 10th year in the sport, and his positions are center and defensive tackle. His future plans, attend college and study electrical engineering. His words of thanks, I'd like to thank my mom and my dad for always supporting me and always believing me and making sure I'm always the best man I can be. I'd also like to thank all of the coaches I've had at Columbia River for everything they've done for me and teaching me very important life lessons. Words to the team, it's been one hell of a ride. Let's give everything we have every game and bring that league championship home. Give it up for your captain, number 62, Caden Craig. Last but not least, number 64, Adam Casanova. He's escorted by his mom, Carly, and his dad, Jason. 7 years in the sport. His position has been linebacker and guard. His future plans is to major in communications at Central Washington. His words of thanks, I'd like to thank my parents and friends for sticking with me through the years and helping me convince me to play football my senior year. I miss football more than anything. Words to the team, thank you guys for being able to change 1 year around like it was nothing. Please again give it up for number 64, Adam Casanova. Again, give it up for all of your seniors in the entire Columbia River football team!
guy has a cast on his hand. How is number 8 gonna catch a ball with a cast? One hand catch. Or just use it as a weapon. After that, you're not going to get these cheerleaders that are going to hit the sun. Why did the coin toss take so long? Are they going to run through this paper?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to River Football. Today we've got the Hudson Hawks versus our own River home team. please? I have found nowhere is it ever said that our flag should ever be removed or should ever be received quietly. So would you please stand and give a cheer for our old Stars and Stripes? So in honor of our veterans, servicemen and women, first responders in the fire, police, and medical fields that put their lives on the line every day, please rise, remove your hats, cover your hearts for our national anthem.
Southwest Washington. Brian Slag, Joe Freeman with your call between Columbia River and the Hockinson Hawks. We got a good matchup for you. Both teams 2-0 coming in, playing similar opponents.
Yeah.
But it's River, 0-4 the last time these teams have played. And then they're 1-4 all time against this Hockinson team. So it should be a good matchup between these two, Jeff.
Really should. Two evenly matched teams. You kind of got your perennial power there, and Hockinson looking for their 7th straight greater league title, Greater St. Helens League's title. But I tell you what, River's pretty amped up for this game, looking to end that streak. So I expect a close game. I expect a competitive game.
Yeah, Hockinson state champs in 17-18, lost in the semis in 2019, and like we just said, River trying to get another victory in this series between these two teams. Now, they won the toss, they deferred until the second half, so Hockinson will receive the opening kickoff.
Hawkinson's going to come out with a sophomore quarterback here who's obviously just 2 years of starting experience. Had a great opener, struggled a little bit last week, so it's kind of a little Jekyll and Hyde for him so far, but we'll see how he plays here today.
Back to receive the kick is Kenyon Johnson for the Hawks.
Got a little delay here. The official doesn't want to start this game. Let's get it going. It's a beautiful day out here at Kiggins Bowl, by the way. Senior day for River.
Day, yep.
Nice little pregame festivities. It was nice to see everyone get their due, especially after the pandemic and just not knowing if we'd ever have this season. So pretty cool moment for all those seniors.
52 degrees currently here at Kiggins Bowl. Partly cloudy and kicked received by number 12, Enzo Oliverio. Got an opening at the 34-yard line. He's brought down by River, and the Hawks set up in good field position on their first drive. Now Hockinson missing their starting running back today, out of town due to a wedding.
Yeah, Daniel Thompson, he's a guy, Coach Steele said, he can turn a 5-yard game into an 80-yard gain in a hurry. And so, kind of plugging in behind him in his stead will be Cody Wheeler, who's a little bit more of a plotter, a little bit more of a move the chains kind of guy. So we'll see how Hockinson adjusts without Thompson.
Pass on the first play from scrimmage, and it's caught by Northrup. 9-yard gain, and he carries a couple of River players along with him. Turns it into a first down, gain of 11. Ethan Arnett on the tackle for River.
Northrup, real dynamic athlete. Had a 100-yard kickoff return and a pick six last week. Just does it all for the Hawks, and he's a guy I'm sure Rivers had their scouting report on all week.
Yeah, 7 catches, 88 yards last week. So Hockinson, first play, ends up in a touchdown. 2 receivers on the far side. In motion is Juarez. Run up the middle. It's a keeper for the quarterback. And picked up about 10 yards. We'll see if they move the chains or if he's slightly short. And it looks like they'll give him the first down. So back-to-back for Hockinson, resulting in first downs.
2 plays, 2 first downs. That'll work for them all day. Now, last week, River brought a lot of pressure, right? They really kind of brought the heat. It'll be interesting to see if they play a little more tentative or if they keep bringing it, because you've got the Hawks are spreading them out here.
And pass to the outside, brought in by Johnson. A minimal gain of about 2, brought down by Mason Purdy. And here's another look at it.
Nice catch.
Yeah, I got to give it up to Johnson, snatching that one out of the air. Hockinson working with a quick passing game right now. Spread formation, 2 receivers on each side. Wheeler in the backfield with Jared Oldham.
Putting a lot on him early. Had him run up the gut there, and then a couple
Here's a
passes.
sweep,
Ooh.
and Kaumatule breaking that play up, and a loss for Hockinson. 5-yard loss on that play. It'll bring up 3rd and 13. And there's that pressure on the edge that you were just talking about that River brought last week, and Samu Kaumatule beat his man right off the snap and blew up that play in the backfield.
Well, they were all over it from the beginning. I feel like they might have seen that one a time or 2 on film this week. Real nice play there to get the loss, and a long 3rd down. Long 3rd and 13 here.
Yeah, after giving up first downs on consecutive plays, River now has set themselves up to possibly get the ball if they can get a stop here.
I think with 2 intense defenses that like to bring the pressure, because we're going to see that a lot with Hockinson on defense too, it's going to be these 3rd and longs that really separate these teams right now. So I'll be interested to see what kind of play they draw up here.
Hutchinson having to come out of the game, removed by the referees. Coming in replacing him is Adam Casanova on the defensive line. Spread formation, Wheeler.
Got single coverage up high there. We'll see what they do there. A little post maybe, a little post. Oh, they're going to
cover 2-man.
Good pressure.
Going out to the flat to Wheeler. And Casanova in on the tackle, pushing Wheeler out of bounds. Looks to be a gain of about 7 to 8 yards. They'll be well short of the first down. And what do you think Hawkinson's going to do here? They picked up a couple big chunk plays.
Well, I think they like their defense, so I think they're gonna go for it. When you believe in your defense, you got a 4th and 5 early in the game. You want to set the tone. You might as well go for it. I thought they had a deep man, up the way there. If they had gone deep, they might have had a play there.
Oldham doing a good job keeping his eyes down the field with the pressure coming at him. And so hard rolling out to the opposite side, not rolling with your throwing arm, rolling out to his left.
Right.
Spread formation, Wheeler to the right of Oldham in the backfield. It's a pass going to the left side, down the sideline and out of bounds, intended for Andre Northrup. But the ball landing out of bounds, never stood a chance, and so River will take over on downs at their own 40-yard line.
Just a huge stop. When you win the toss and you defer to put the onus on your defense to come in and get that 4th down stop in that play, especially when you're the hunter in this series, that's a big play there early in the game.
Well, River coming out on offense. The offensive line, Dylan Dean, Adam Casanova, Caden Craig, Brock Schultz, and Nicholas Hutchinson. Mason Purdy, the quarterback, Keith Blau, and Max Sturdivant on the outside. So trips left for River to start off. It'll be a quarterback keeper by Purdy. Spins to the outside, breaking 1 tackle, and eventually brought down by number 22, Adam Newt.
Tell you what, talking to Coach Rick Steele earlier this week, Hockinson is going to bring the pressure. They are going to bring relentless pressure, as we saw right there. Just get used to watching that all day. Now, that said, River's expecting that too. So
that's why you draw something up like that play. You're thinking you're going to get that pressure on the outside. Now, picked up a couple yards. It's 2nd and 8, but it's something that they're going to have to think about. Another empty set right now for River. Tight end on the near side. Purdy goes right and out of bounds, intended for number 10.
Looked like a little confusion there on the routes there by the receivers. I think one guy was going one way, a guy went the other way. I think they crossed up a little bit there.
And Jacob Heirs, the intended receiver, well, it almost looks like they ran an X pattern. They just crossed over at about 10 yards, and he was supposed to be running up the sideline, and that's what Purdy was thinking.
Yeah.
So it'll be 3rd and 8 now for River.
Kind of opposite of Hockinson, who 2 plays, 2 first downs. Here we are, 2 plays, 2 yards for River. So they're also going to be tested on 3rd and long on their first drive.
4 options on the near side of the field. Tight end and Harania, hand down.
Oh, he's got one-on-one here in the flat.
Sturdivant
Nice
breaks
little
one
move.
tackle. That'll be a first down, still in bounds, and knocked out of bounds at about the 40-yard line. So Sturdivant catching the ball out in the flat. Mason Purdy completing that pass and a first down for Columbia River.
Like to get him out in space. He's shifty and fast, and they got the one-on-one in the flat that they like there, and he juiced him, got around them, first down.
And something that River did a great job last week was getting the receivers downfield and trying to set up the blocks. You see Ayers and you see Rayne right there in frame setting up a few blocks. Brady will go out to the flat again to Sturdivant. Breaks one tackle, spinning away and brought down a shoestring tackle.
Really nice play design there. He was wide open. Get him in space again. Almost threatened there on the door of a first down.
Adam Newt on the tackle that time around, and Sturdivant showing that elusiveness, spinning with a stiff arm in a previous play. And you just get him in that open space, he's going to create something for you.
He really is. He's dynamic in the open field, and it's quite clear that River's going to go to him early and often.
Tight end left, another empty formation for Purdy in the backfield. Here's
Oh,
a
he's
deep
got him.
pass. He's wide open at the 5 and touchdown. Ayers with the catch.
Boy, he just beat his man right off the block there, and he was wide open. Beautiful pass.
Yeah, Purdy had great time in the pocket. The offensive line stepping up big right there, delivered, just like you just said. A beautiful pass to the outside to Jake Ayers, and he was left alone making the catch at the 5-yard line.
That's a great point, Brian. I mean, when you look at receivers have been open and they converted the long 3rd down. But as we watch this touchdown, look at the cover, the protection
that he has, yeah.
And that's going to be the difference in this game. Can River slow down that relentless pressure from Hockinson? And so far, the answer is emphatically yes.
Kate Lujan's kick is no good. So after the exciting touchdown for River, the extra point, no good. But they have a 6-0 lead, and they sit in the driver's seat right now. Both teams, one possession so far. And listen, if you're Hockinson, you're not really changing anything. You have a couple of big plays, something you can go back to. But River, you have to be thrilled with how your defense is started, and then your offense looked like you were going to be stagnant, stopped on your own side of the field. They turned it into a big play from Sturdivant, and then a touchdown a couple plays later.
Amazing what one positive play will get you, the momentum it creates, and then boom, 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 touchdown. Here we have ourselves an incredible opening start to what should be a really entertaining game.
Well, these two teams over the last couple weeks, Columbia River has played Woodland. They won 22-13, and then played R.A. Long last week, 52-7. They were victorious, and then just flip that schedule around for Hockinson. They played Woodland. They won 27-3, and then they beat R.A. Long 56-0.
I'll tell you what, that defense that River just marched down on surrendered 23 net yards last week. Did not allow one completed pass. Shows you how impressive that early drive was. They showed up to play.
Northrup, Johnson, and Oliverio back to receive the kick. Oliverio with it and brought down by number 23, Victor Flores. And Flores, nice tackle, and River setting Hockinson deep in their own zone at the moment after a possession where they started out beyond the 30 last time.
Yeah, I mean, if Hockinson, you've got to get something going on the ground. They went to the air there. I think they had one run. Oh, and they had the jet sweep stuffed, obviously, on that last drive too. But you're going to have more balance here, more against River if you're going to hope to move the ball.
So trips left set up for Hockinson. Wheeler in the backfield, and another pass, a screen to Northrop with some open space, and Halter there to meet him for the tackle as Northrop lost his helmet. Here we'll get a replay of that last one. And Hockinson just air right away and only 2 runs so far through a possession and plus a couple of plays. Obviously
feeling the effects of not having Daniel Thompson here today. They're going to go to the air so far early to try to counter that.
Micaiah Juarez in motion, trips right for the Hawks. Play action, pop pass over the middle, caught by the tight end, and Jake Talarico. And that'll be a first down for the Hawks at the 39-yard line.
Tell you what, that'll alleviate some pressure there. A little play action, boom over the middle. Quick hitting, quick striking. Look at that, immediately hits him. Not a man within 3 feet of him, 3 yards of him, and just boom, nice play.
Of course, freezing the linebackers on the play action, allowing him to get behind them. So Twins formation, 2 receivers each side. Juarez in motion. It'll be a keeper for Oldham. And tackled, minimal gain. Looks to be about a gain of 1, brought down by Keith Blau.
You look at Oldham, he's an incredible athlete, a really good baseball player. In fact, that might be his favorite and best sport. But a sophomore still learning, learning on the fly here, especially with so little time to prepare for the season. So far, he's got a couple carries here, and he might just be their offense today without Daniel Thompson.
2 receivers each side. Wheeler set up to the left. Hockinson, no surprise, going back to the air. Here's a ball to the outside. Northrop going for it and broken up by Victor Flores, the safety, coming over from the hash marks to break up that pass. And it looked like Northrop beat his man, coming back to the ball, could have made a play on it, but again, Flores coming over from that safety position and breaking up that pass.
Yeah, I thought he was open for a split second, and then he came over and just read it perfectly, handled it perfectly. Really nice play from the secondary there. Northrop is gonna be active all day. He's gonna carry the ball. He's gonna catch the ball. He's gonna be active on defense. We've seen River kick it away from him on kickoff, so he's definitely gonna be a focal point of this offense. So you saw right there.
And a wobbler and some miscommunication between the receiver and quarterback. Kenyon Johnson breaking in after a 10-yard route. Meanwhile, Oldham thought he was going to be running a streak down the field.
Man, if you are River, and you're watching this from home as a River fan, you could not be more elated by what you've seen so far. Again, deferring that kickoff, 2 quick stops, touchdown, you're about to get the ball back, up 6-0. Just a perfect start. You couldn't have asked for a better start if you're River.
But if you're Hockinson, you have to be wondering, should we get more involved in this run game? Yes, Wheeler's not the guy that's going to break the 80-yard run, but if he's going to get you 4 yards a pop, you run that 3-4 times in a row, you're getting yourself a first down.
Yeah, and at this point, there's not even the threat of it. They're not even trying to pretend like they're going to run.
Sturdivant telling everybody to move away on the ball as Hockinson gets a nice Hawks bounce. Will stay just outside the 20-yard line and down at the 23. Sturdivant fired up by a couple of Hawks after that punt. If you're River, you started out slow on your first drive, got the passing game going, and what they struggled with against R.A. Long, surprisingly enough, was the long pass. They got it to convert this time around for the first touchdown.
Boy, you hit that early, too. It just opens up so much for your offense, especially when you're getting so good at protection in the middle there. And Hawkinson's going to keep bringing the heat for sure. Watch him press up the middle here. I wouldn't be surprised.
Another empty set for Purdy.
There it is right
Look
there.
to his left. Now he rolls to his right. Couple of Hawks in his way, and he'll be taken down in the backfield. And that'll be a loss of about 3 yards. So they'll be at the 21-yard line, 2nd and 13.
I hate to keep harping on this, but talking to Coach Smedley, he said if River can handle that pressure, it's going to be a back and forth close game. If they cannot, then it's anything goes. And so plays like that right there, that's going to define what we're going to see today.
Talarico on the sack for Hockinson. Purdy, another empty set, throws it out to Blau on the far side, coming back for it, snatching it out of the air for the reception. Get that past their original sticks. Pickup of about 5. It'll be 3rd and 9.
Sometimes on that 2nd and long when you lose yards, you just want to get a little positive momentum. Get yourself a kind of a convertible 3rd down. Not quite what they wanted, but it's some positive moves moving forward.
Anything to make it more bearable. 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9, a lot easier than when it's 3rd and 13. Quads left for Purdy. He's running out of space, throwing against his body, and what a catch by Ayers, diving on the ground, and that'll keep the River drive going.
I'll tell you, that was an incredible throw on the run. He had pressure. He weaved in and out. Those guys putting pressure on him, and just boom, threw a laser, and then Ayers finishes it with just a pretty catch. Look at him evade that pressure, throw it one on the run. Man, that was nice.
Listen, the coaches might be talking to him when he gets to the sideline. He had enough arm strength on it to get there.
Boy.
Got quads right with the tight end down in Kamatue. And Purdy has not had anybody in the backfield with him. He's been alone all day. And Ayers, again, another reception across the middle. And this one will end up in another 1st down for River.
Man, his footwork in the pocket is so nice. And he just throws such a nice ball on the run. Really, really poised. Doesn't seem to get rattled back there. And so far, it's early, but River is they're making plays. They're making the big play when it matters most. And again, we're seeing that quick strike now. After a 1st down, a little momentum, and here we go. They're on the move again.
2 receivers stacked on the far side of the field. Kamatui down at the tight end position. It's quarterback keeper Purdy up the middle. Now he's got an opening on the outside. Northrup, the only defender, then pushed out by Talarico, but a huge gain for Mason Purdy in this Columbia River offense.
And that's what separates Purdy from certainly most of the guys around the league, is he is a real true dual threat. As we've seen him throw on the run, now we see him make a big play with his legs. And that was a great call. He had a huge hole up the middle, read it, darted right, and weaved in. Now he got up. He's a little bit slow to get up. I don't know if he took a tough hit or just is a little winded there. Got his hands on his hips. Looks like he's okay.
Empty backfield again for River. Kamutu, the tight end on the left side. It'll be another keeper for Purdy, and this time he just slides on the ground.
Yeah, I think he's holding his shoulder or something. He took a hit. His left arm is...
He's not moving his left arm. He's keeping that one a minimal rotation, and there it's a little bit of pain.
Yeah, you watch him here. He's not going to want to take a hit. He goes down, and when he gets up, he's holding his left shoulder, and I think he's going to come out, Brian.
Yeah, he's favoring that left shoulder right now as it dips, and a timeout will be called by River.
Oh man, that's too bad. Momentum going, fun game we're watching. Let's hope it's nothing serious.
Cole Garrett is the backup quarterback.
All right, here, quick announcement for you guys. After conducting a nationwide search, the Vancouver Public Schools has found its new superintendent right in its own backyard. The school board has selected Jeff Snell to lead the district. He begins July 1st. Dr. Snell is currently the superintendent at the Camas School District and is likely a familiar face for many of us. Before taking over at Camas, he had a long career in Vancouver Public Schools, including principal at Fort Vancouver High School. Congratulations to Dr. Snell.
Well, River working with a 6-0 lead with just over 2.5 minutes left in the first quarter. And we're going to have a change at quarterback as Mason Purdy was being looked at with some shoulder discomfort. And now it's number 4, Adam Watts, the quarterback.
He's a sophomore, sophomore quarterback DB. Big moment for him to step into.
And Dylan Keir getting the first carry other than Mason Purdy, trying to break this one to the outside. Had something going for them up the middle momentarily. It'll bring up about 3rd and about 6 now.
Boy, when it rains, it pours literally, right? As Purdy goes out, the rain starts to fall here at Kiggins Bowl, so that'll liven things up a bit down there.
Johnson in on the tackle for the Hawks. Watts, the sophomore quarterback, in the pistol formation. Keir lined up behind him. Tight end down on the right side and a false start. This one going to be on Adam Harania. And that's a tough one for River. You got this momentum going, and both sides have played clean football so far here in the first quarter, and then you get a false start when it's about 3rd and 5, and now you back yourself up to 3rd and 10.
Meanwhile, off the field, it looked like Purdy was attended to by a trainer. He just went into the medical tent there, and I think he's going to take off the shoulder pads, and they're going to give that shoulder a little extra look.
So many things can go wrong with a shoulder. It could be a number of things. As Watt drops back, he'll throw his first pass. A deep one down over the middle and unable to connect with Keith Blau up the hash marks. And so it'll be 4th and 10 for River.
Yeah, that was almost there. I think if he had held out maybe a split second late, he might have had him. He beat his man by about half a step there. Pretty good throw by the backup there, though. Nice little arm. A little pressure up the middle, but look at that. Just a split second early. Looks like they're going to go for it here.
On this side of the field, it's their only chance, of course. Lujan missing the extra point for River the last time around. Here's a blitz put on by the Hawks and brought down in the backfield by number 42, Andrew Domingos, with the sack on Adam Watts. And that's a turnover on downs, and Hockinson back in business.
Looks like he lost slip of the ball, a little bit of a wet ball probably. He tried to spin it around, lost it, and then just immediately was met with pressure.
Fortunate to bounce back on that one. Turnover on downs anyways.
Boy, you sure feel that momentum change, don't you? Just like that, in the blink of an eye, and here we are. Big stop by Hockinson, and now they're staring at the ball near the 40. Haven't been able to do much with it so far, though, so we'll see if they can generate any momentum here.
Rain falling now, as we have a small pocket of blue sky between a couple of the clouds here at Kiggins Bowl. Northrup in motion.
Man.
Sweet play, and Kalmatuli blows it up again. What a play. Samu Kalmatule beating his man off the snap and blowing up Northrup in the backfield the second time this afternoon.
Yeah, I think if I'm Hockinson, I might scrap that play for a little bit because it's been busted up twice, pinning them deep twice, and now they're staring at a 2nd and long. Obviously, they're struggling to generate anything on the ground. Oldham had a nice run, but otherwise nothing going there.
They've been trying to mainly get the rushing edge out on the edge. But Kalmatula, and there's a slant pass, no catch made. Originally, it looked like Enzo Oliverio made the catch, and then it was broken up. Didn't see which River guy got his hand in there to break up that pass, but it'll be 3rd and 15 for Hockinson.
I almost wonder if that's the classic running to make a big play before you have that ball caught, because he sure had it.
Dylan Keir got his hand in there and broke that play up. Otherwise, it looked like Oliverio had a clean catch.
Sure did. And some room to run.
So pistol formation for the Hawks. 2 receivers each side of the formation. Wheeler in the backfield. Hawks are going to go through the air on 3rd and 15. And again, looks to be some miscommunication. Oldham is looking up the hash marks for Johnson, and Johnson sort of angled in on a post pattern. And a long pass ends up in an incompletion. It'll be 4th and 15. So River really not losing any ground despite losing it on downs.
Yeah, and Oldham has really, so far early in this game, struggled being able to respond to the pressure that River's throwing at him. And he's overthrown multiple guys, just feeling the heat with that pressure coming at him.
Well, final 48.5 seconds left in the quarter.
Oh,
Almost blocked. There were 4 River guys in the vicinity. A high bounce. Sturdivant telling everybody to get away, and it's down by Adam Bonifay. And so River in a great spot just on their side of the 50 at the 48-yard line. And they've been gifted with some good field position in this game.
they really have. And I think we're still getting some medical attention in the 10. I do not see Purdy coming back out yet, so I think we're going to ride the sophomore here a little bit further, at least for the rest of this quarter.
Yeah, Adam Watts got some run last week with R.A. Long. Against R.A. Long, I should say. Hockinson in the backfield now. And a timeout called. Taken by Hockinson. In fact, we can hear a couple of the coaches up here calling for the timeout, not liking what they saw out on the field. You had Ayers, Blau, and then you also had Sean Rayne out on the edges for River.
Now, it'll be interesting right here to see how River responds with Watts in. Like, how much of your game plan do you stick to? How much of the reins do you loosen up for the inexperienced quarterback? Obviously, so much of their offense is built around what Purdy can do with his legs and his obviously his incredible throwing ability on the run. So how much of their playbook do they still have?
Well, you have to wonder that their game plan is, you don't want to say totally scrapped, but what we saw with Purdy out there, the formations are different. Purdy was in an empty set every single time that they were out there. And now that you got the backup in there, you get him a bit of a safety blanket, whether it's Hockinson or Keir in the backfield. But it was a full air raid system to start off with Purdy, and now they're bringing things a bit tighter. Tight end to the right, Hockinson.
Oh, we had some false start there, offsides on the defense. It's tough to say who jumped first.
I gotta say, the purple just sticks out to me first.
It definitely pops, and I think you're right.
And that's what they'll call a false start on River. Looked to be on Jacob Heirs.
And one small thing when you're, I mean, Purdy has such a handle on this offense, and protection-wise, he knows the protections to call, and that's where things slip a little bit. When you put in the backup, is how much can he read the protections and make the audibles and the adjustments at the line of scrimmage.
And Purdy right now does not have his shoulder pads on as he comes out of the tent. A high throw intended for Sean Rayne. That's a couple of Hawks knocking Watts on his backside, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 15.
Yeah, Purdy's got his pads off. Looks like he's taken off his cleats, putting on his shoes, and that is not a good sign, obviously, for River. Just really disappointing. So much riding on this game for them. Such a dynamic and fun player to watch. Let's hope he's okay.
The rain starting to die down a bit here at Kiggins Bowl. Sophomore Adam Watts in relief for the senior Mason Purdy. Play action. Ooh. And a huge hit by Northrup, the safety, and that should be a flag. Yeah, helmet to helmet.
That's got to be a penalty, yeah.
And Kalmatule took the lick on that one from Northrup, and the flag comes in late from the sideline.
I was surprised it didn't come from the back. He had a great view of that, did not call it, but luckily his buddy bailed him out, because there is no question from our vantage point that was an unnecessary roughness and a hit there.
More importantly, you like to see that Kalmatule was able to bounce right back up and move forward. And overall, if my memory serves me correct, that should be an automatic first down for Columbia River. And there it is, 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line of Hockinson.
Here's a replay of this hit. Had him over the middle. Oh, didn't quite get it, but it was no question live that it was a personal foul.
So 2 receivers and a tight end to the right. Pistol formation, Hockinson.
They're bringing the blitz up the middle here.
Play action, Watts keeps it himself. He's got to tuck that ball away. Sticks out the arm to try to get an extra yard or two, but he'll be pushed out of bounds at the 35-yard line.
Little wiggle and a little moxie there from the sophomore. Comes out, nice little cut left to get around, and then sticks the ball out NFL style to get a couple extra yards there. Little herky-jerky move, and then pick up that extra 6 or 7 inches. I like it. What a moment for him to come into. Huge game, huge moment. Now he's leading another drive here. Right about now, I would think, is when his mind starts to slow down. You kind of get thrown out there on the fly, and now he's kind of got his composure to him.
Keir in motion going out to the flat. No blitz by the Hawks. Watts leading his receivers. Kamatule, the one-handed grab, oh my goodness. Snagging that one right out of the air.
What a catch. That's going to help the sophomore quarterback out there, I'll tell you what.
Absolutely every single time. And
it was tough to tell if Watts was going to him or another receiver in the area. He was directing traffic, wanted to point someone along the way, and there were two guys in the area, and then just a beautiful one-handed catch.
And it's the last play of the first quarter. So Adam Watts getting some help from his tight end, Sam Kamatule, in River right now. And what you can only guess is what of an upset brewing at the moment as they lead 6-0 over Hockinson.
Well, the game has been nothing if not entertaining and even a little drama. It's been a really fun quarter. Hockinson just hasn't been able to generate anything on offense so far.
And you have to credit River with that because Hockinson has gone through the air a lot, so the secondary's had a lot of pressure on them. We've seen Victor Flores come up with a couple of big plays. And then on the defensive line, we just called out Kamatule with a nice grab, but he's blown up two separate sweep plays from Hockinson in the backfield for big losses that stalled the drive for the Hawks.
Yeah, nothing on the ground. Negative yards rushing. They had the one big run early in the game from Oldham, but otherwise just nothing going there. And like you said, really a credit to Rivers' defense, which showed up to play today against a team they're trying to topple. Again, a 6-time league champion, team that has had just incredible success, 38-2 over its last 40 games, 29-1 in league over the last 6 years. Just, has run roughshod over this league. I know a lot of these guys on River, a lot of these seniors have played together for many, many years, and they've been kind of waiting for this moment. And so far, they have showed up to play today.
Well, the other thing that we somewhat forget about, Purdy goes both ways. He's the starting corner for River. So Hockinson, who's been going through the air a lot, you can think that they might be targeting that corner going forward and seeing where they go with it. So those were about ready to start the second quarter. 6-0 lead, Columbia River over Hockinson. Adam Watts in at quarterback. It's Mason Purdy left on the third drive for River with a shoulder injury. Keir in the backfield picking up one of the blitzers. But on the other side, number 44, Cody Wheeler with the sack on Adam Watts. And the Hawks pin their ears back and they pinched it on the edge.
There's that pressure we're talking about. They have not stopped bringing it once. We've been playing running back, although he hasn't gotten a carry.
But you look over here, and both of them, number 2 and Talarico, and then Wheeler both coming in off the edge. Keir could only pick up one of them.
Now we're staring at a second and long here.
The other thing we saw early in the game with Rivers, they were running quick, successive plays and trying to keep Hockinson on the field. And on that last play, they seemed to go a bit deeper with Watts, allowing that blitz to get to him.
There's a pressure up the middle again here.
Another blitz from the Hawks. Watts has got a lot of open space, beats Wheeler, and out of bounds at about the 25-yard line. Last hit by Adam Newt. And that'll get them back to a little bit in front of the original line of scrimmage. It looks to be about 3rd and 8.
Yeah, they misdirection here, totally fooled Hockinson on defense, and Watts had just a endless array of green to run on there. Slipped a little bit at the end, but a nice pickup there.
Well, now you're in 2-down territory. You don't necessarily need to get the first down here, but if you can pick up 5, maybe 4 yards, you're in a good spot for River. 2 receivers on the far side of the field, Sturdivant and Rayne. Perania, the tight end, on the left.
Got to go to Sturdivant here, don't you think?
He's been making a couple plays, hit him out in the flat. Here's a deep pass for Blau, and he overthrew his man. Blau got the separation.
We got a flag here, though. I think they're going to call holding on the defense there, defensive holding in the secondary. I thought initially that Watts just got a little panicked and threw it a little too early, but maybe we had a little holding there. Let's see what the call is, because he is wide open.
It looked like he broke in and then started to fade out on that one.
We still have not seen. Oh, yep, and they are. It is on the defense, so it will be.
Yep. Hold the defense.
Not quite a 1st and goal. Looks like they're going to be just back near the 15. So still can get a first down here before they get into the end zone.
But listen, they've set themselves up in a great position right now. They're leading 6-0. If you could punch it into the end zone and possibly be leading 13-0, River would much like that, especially with halftime coming up. And offsides possibly on number 8.
And Purdy has emerged from the medical tent. It looks like his left arm is in a sling. They've got it wrapped up. Man, that's awful to see. I feel bad for the kid. I feel bad for the team. Looks like he might be just leaving the venue. I would assume to go get his shoulder checked out. He's going to have a few words with his teammates on the way out. And now he's heading out down the right sideline there.
Rayne at tight end. Dylan Keir with the rush, trying to break it to the outside. Broke one tackle, and he's met by a couple of Hawks. It looked like Wheeler, and along with
break one, maybe two, but you can't break 3 and 4 there. And Purdy's walking gingerly because he wants to see. He's down there on the end zone, the side where River's driving. He wants to see if his team's going to punch it in before he heads out here.
Well, they got the false start on the defense, set them up at 1st and 5. Now it'll be 2nd and 7. She's got 2 receivers and a tight end to the right. Sean Rayne, the receiver on the top of the screen. Halter in the backfield. Blitz put on by the Hawks. Watts lets it hang. Blau trying to go for it. Johnson is going to get called for the flag. And River will most likely have 1st and goal. And Kenyon Johnson had his hands all over Keith Blau before that ball got there.
Yeah, we had 2 flags thrown, and you could just see that play developed as it was going, and the DB just couldn't stop himself. You look right there, he just face guarding, and he knew he was beat, and so he just did what he did to stop a touchdown.
Yeah, never even looked back for the ball either. Yeah. Easy call for the referee. Something to look at, though, is Keith Blau, who is limping after that play. He's now on the sideline as Victor Flores comes in relief for him.
And Kenyon Johnson, who was on the coverage there, is a big kid, 6'2", 180, talented wide receiver. Just got crossed up there on the coverage and couldn't get back in time. But, you know, sometimes when you're back there and you're in that position, at least you don't give up a touchdown.
True. It still gives your defense an opportunity to make a goal line stop. It'll be 1st and goal now for River.
Yeah, they're calling 2nd down, Brian. I'm not sure, but they're 2nd and short. I don't know what the call is there. Unless they called, but a defensive holding is an automatic 1st down, so hey, your guess is as good as mine here on why it's 2nd and 1.
This is still half the distance to the goal. I thought that was only if you're an offense backed up on your own goal line. Halter the carry, and he'll get nowhere. Wheeler in on the tackle.
And I just think what we're seeing is both these teams' interior line on both sides is so tough and so stout that there's just no running lanes there and no resistance or little resistance, and so I think this game is going to be decided in the air at this point. We've seen a couple nice quarterback runs, but running backs have not generated much at all.
Yeah, we've seen River with Keir, who's more the presence to try to break the edge. Halter more the bruiser up the middle, and you're right, neither of them have really gotten anything going in limited capacity since Watts has come in at quarterback.
Now they're staring at a 3rd down here.
Here's a pass. Watts trying to delay the defense. A pass behind, and it's picked off. Fantastic play by the Hawks secondary, and it's brought in by Jake Tallarico.
Great play, great read, not a good throw. I think we could see up here as he was releasing it. I think he just didn't see him. He was kind of on his backside. As we watched this, he had plenty of time to throw. He wasn't feeling. He got a little heat there. Just kind of threw it up, and I mean, there's all kinds of traffic there.
Yeah, I don't think he ever saw the defender there. But if you're Kenyon Johnson, you just got bailed out there. You stopped that touchdown for or Keith Blau, excuse me. With that penalty, allowed your defense to come up with the interception, and now Hockinson takes over at their own 5-yard line. Cal Matule wrapping up Oldham.
I still would like someone to explain to me why that wasn't 1st and goal.
Correct.
I am confused by that, and you know, and it could be our ignorance, but that's I mean, that's a decider on how you run, the plays you call down there, and then all of a sudden you're facing a third down.
Yep, exactly.
And here we are with a turnover on the picks. So
And you have to, yeah, I'm wondering how that wasn't a first down because at the time it was 2nd and 8.
mm-hmm.
So a
And
holding
PI
penalty is 10 yards.
PI in the end zone is usually a first and goal at the 3. So
there were a couple of confusing plays. Wheeler's first big run for Hockinson up
Woo!
the middle and upended by Victor Flores. But that'll be a huge gain for Hockinson.
called him on the draw there. Beautiful call, kind of to protect against the aggressive nature in the goal line there of what you figured River was going to bring, and right on cue. Little delayed handoff, pivot right, and then just no one in front of him. And watch this little dipsy-doo at the end.
19-yard pickup for Wheeler. Oldham, the slant pass behind
What a
Northrop, and he makes a
catch.
one-handed catch. And Flores will come in along with Keir to make the tackle, but more importantly, the incredible catch right there by Northrop. Thrown behind him, snags it out of the air with one hand.
What an incredible catch. Oldham, again, a little off target, but what a Northrop just bailed him out there. And Northrop, we are seeing that athleticism again with the 100-yard kickoff return last week, the pick 6, and a huge play on first down there to get his team across midfield.
Trips right for the Hawks. Northrop at the bottom of the screen. Oldham dropping back. He looks right. He'll go out to the flat to Wheeler. Breaking in and making that tackle looked like Sturdivant.
One thing to note, too, on that big play by Northrop was Victor Flores was shaken up on the play, had to pull himself off, and now he's down on the sideline kind of composed himself. Not sure what happened exactly, but someone came over to attend to him, and he's kind of getting a little time by himself, so hopefully he's okay.
2nd and 7. Twin formation. Wheeler still in the backfield and a pistol formation behind Oldham. Run up the middle for Wheeler. Puts his shoulders down. Hockhalter in on the tackle.
Found something there. That's 2 big runs now with him up the gut there. They saw something and made some type of an adjustment. And, man, more importantly, looking at this drive, Brian, this is a huge drive in this game. As we count down close to 7 minutes in this first half, Rivers had all the momentum from the beginning. Suddenly you lose Purdy, you throw a pick down in the red zone, and now you can just feel Hockinson get a little momentum and trying to push forward here.
Yeah, I was going to say, you felt the momentum shift after that interception. It really woke something up for Hockinson. Here it's going to be a QB draw, and he'll keep it. Kamatule grabbing him by the waist, holding him back. As number 11, Ethan Arnett, comes up to help on the tackle.
Well, that might be the first time we've seen back-to-back running plays in this game, but certainly for Hockinson here, a nice little pull him down from behind before his buddies get there to corral that play. And now we're staring at a 4th and short. Now, what do you think here? You go quarterback sneak, you do a little
You could do an option play right
That's
now.
what I was going to say, yeah.
Freeze up the end, and it looks like River wants to bring pressure.
Boy, you got Northrop out there on single coverage, though, and Johnson on the top side. They're just going to run it up the gut. First down.
And there it is, a pickup of 2, enough for the first down at the 29-yard line. So Hockinson get 1st and 10 inside the 30. As we approach about halfway through this second quarter, 6:02 left to go.
That rain stopped, too. We got a little sunshine. I like it.
Yeah.
What a beautiful day for football. March football. I mean, when did you ever think you'd be standing here watching this? It's a beautiful
Never.
day.
Only in the failed Alliance Football League.
Maybe a little XFL action here and there.
But spring high school football, pass over the middle, brought in by Tallarico.
Tell you what, just the threat of the run, that little play action, you got to bite on it, and then that just enough of the seam to complete that pass. And a nice throw by Oldham, who has been a little bit off target here so far, and he threw that one right in the numbers.
Yeah, that play action just freezing the linebackers enough to get Tallarico behind him, and a dart from Oldham. Lujan single coverage on Northrop right now in the bottom of the screen.
Northrop doesn't know what the call is. He's asking to replay it. He's down on the side, and it's a
And
throw
they're going
to
back
him.
back
and
shoulder
he still
and
catches it.
touchdown.
Boy, if you look at we're not going to probably see it because it was pre-snap, but Northrop did not know the call there. He was trying to get the Oldham to tell him the call. He didn't see him, but he still and Oldham looked him off, threw it right on his side. Great back shoulder throw, great catch and adjustment, and what a play! What a play! Maybe they just shouldn't tell him the play call more often.
Well, Lujan was dropping back in defense, and that allowed the back shoulder throw to Northrop. And that's not an easy throw to make for Oldham, a sophomore.
Best throw of the night, or the day, I would say.
Yeah, absolutely. Going out for the kick is John Charles. The extra point, no good, off the upright. And so we've got ourselves a tie ball game at 6-all with 5:12 left to go until halftime.
I think we expected, as we said, if River felt that if they could stop the pressure of Hockinson, that it could be a back and forth close game. I don't think they expected to do so without their starting quarterback, but that's what we're seeing so far now. River deals the first blow, kind of go back and forth, and Hockinson finally answers, and so we'll see how River answers here. They've had a couple of drives to steady themselves after losing Purdy, and now you kind of can shape your game plan moving forward to create some plays to get Watt some success.
We've seen him make a couple of nice plays with his legs. He's made a nice pass here and there as well. And you just saw some of that inexperience of not seeing the field on that last drive, resulting in that interception. But right now you got to be, I don't know if you've seen Ted Lasso lately, but you got to be a goldfish. You got to have a short memory out there.
Yes, sir.
So we'll see if Adam Watts can respond at the quarterback position for River as they're about to receive the kickoff.
Going back to Northrop, just an incredible route, not even knowing the play, and another touchdown for a guy who just continues to deliver and score in a variety of ways, can hurt you from all three facets of the game, and he hurt River right there.
Sturdivant and Kalmatule back to receive the kick from Hockinson. It's John Charles set to kick off.
Little pooch kick.
Yeah, short pooch kick with River playing almost everybody within 15 yards of the kick.
He's got a lane.
Kalmatule gets it. He's got a lane, and he's brought down from behind by number 4, Aiden Bonifay. That could have been dangerous, but River set up in great field position. After a pooch kick, Hockinson, and one more look at it. You could somewhat think of the strategy right there because you saw the first two lines for Columbia River again, almost within 15 yards of where the ball was being kicked, and that leaves a nice bubble right there where anything can happen.
Good to see Victor Flores back on the field after getting shaken up on defense in that last drive.
Yeah, Flores on the far side of the field right now, the only receiver near the top of the screen. Ayers and Blau, the receivers on the near side. Herenia in at tight end, and we've got a flag thrown.
Boy, not the way you want to start off a drive after giving up a touchdown if you're River. A little false start action there. And
it was
now
a delay of game.
Oh, excuse me, delay of game. Thank you.
More than anything, that's a tough one to take. Now, there's no clocks here at Kiggins Bowl, so, for a sophomore quarterback, you have to be looking at the referee, seeing that his arm is going. He's giving you the count in the back. But River starting out 1st and 15. It'll be a rush. Dylan Keir takes it, going to the left side.
That play did not have a chance from the start. Kind of not a botched handoff, but they collided on the handoff, and there was half of Hawkinson's defense was right where he was running to. Another look here. You see him kind of collide a little bit and then just right into the line.
Big hit made by Tallarico. He's made a couple of nice plays for this Hawks defense.
And then you got the delay of game, and then that play, and now you're staring at a 2nd and 15. Sophomore quarterback called on during the game. We'll see how he responds.
Keir gets the handoff back to back, and the ball's loose. It's on the ground, and it looks like Hawkinson's celebrating. They might have that ball. It'll be 1st and 10 inside the 35. And it is. It'll be Hockinson football. Keir on the fumble.
Looked like Jason Keir recovered it there.
See, looking at the replay.
Just popped right out.
Yeah, number 58, Dalton Penner, causing that fumble. And then Hockinson jumping on it.
Boy, in a span of 3 plays, here we are. Touchdown, and now a fumble.
And it goes all the way back to that interception and that momentum change.
Right.
The Hockinson bench got up after making that goal line stand. And now Hockinson has an opportunity. They were down 6-0 with about halfway through the quarter, and now they have an opportunity to take the lead.
Going to try to go deep. Nope, he's covered.
Oldham got hit and had pressure up in front of him. Short hops it into number 24, Mikhail Juarez.
The touchdown aside, River secondary has done a really nice job containing this dangerous Hockinson receiver core. We haven't seen Kenyon Johnson get loose too much. They were blanketed all over that play there. So a little bit of a chess match here, and so far it's been an even chess match.
Pass to the outside, caught by Johnson, and closing in and making that tackle was number 17, Aiden Flores. In relief of Mason Purdy, the other corner on the side.
Looking at Hockinson and their recent dominance of this league, this was the kind of year where there was a big transition. 14, 15 or so seniors left after last year's a team that went to the semis that had been part of so much success. All these kind of young guys came up and waiting their time. And so, it'll be interesting to see how they respond to moments like this that they haven't really been in. And so far I've been impressed. They have answered. Oh, we got a false start there in the backfield.
Yeah, Wheeler falling forward in the fullback position. And the other thing, even though we're in spring football, we're all happy about getting the opportunity to play, but this season, I'm using quotes here, doesn't really count for, there's no playoffs or anything like that. So if you're Hockinson, this is a great opportunity to get those young guys together, get real game action where it doesn't hurt you in any real way and going forward. And the same goes for River as well.
Yeah, well, what's crazy, beyond the having no idea if you were going to have a season, if and when it would occur, Hockinson had 4 practices to prepare for the season. Now, obviously, they had a lot of conditioning workouts and so on and so forth, but 4 practices with pads, and obviously we're in week 3, so a lot of that rust has been worn off, but it's just really, you keep on hearing it's a year and a season unlike any other, and that's certainly the case for now, as much as ever.
I know personally I've dealt with that as well, working over at the University of Portland. I mean, their season was delayed. The governor didn't allow them to practice, and they only had a handful of practices before their first game. So yeah, they're very much in the same situation. This whole COVID year has really thrown things out the window.
Big third down here, 3rd and 11 or 12.
Oldham drops back, a deep throw to Northrup, and nowhere in the vicinity, trying to throw it to the outside. Northrup seemed to be breaking in. Lujan throwing up his hands to avoid contact.
Yeah, and Oldham threw right into double coverage there. I think it was his, if not his primary receiver, his only receiver, and River was not fooled at all. If you look at the double coverage there, it was never a chance. And the throw, Northrup cut up, Oldham threw out, and here we are. We got a timeout, though, here on 4th and 12 with 3:26 left. So this is a big play. I guess if you're Hockinson, you try to decide if you try to pick it up, if you do a little pooch kick and pin him deep. I don't know.
That's an excellent point. You can have Oldham back there and give a pooch kick, and you don't, with a sophomore quarterback for Columbia River, add the pressure of backing them up at the goal line. And honestly, that's probably one of the best solutions you can have right now, because 4th and 12, obviously it's not an easy pickup.
Well, and you look too, River gets the ball to start the second half. So this is probably going to be your last chance if you're Hockinson of the first half. But, you pin him deep, you feel good about that, and then you rely on your defense to kind of pick it up from there. But I don't think they're feeling it. It looks like they're going to go for it on 4th and 12 here.
2 receivers on the near side, bunched up.
A little jet sweep action here.
Juarez in motion.
A little reverse, a double reverse.
We've got a double reverse on it.
He's going to have to make
Oliverio's got the edge, breaking inside, and Lujan comes up and makes the tackle. And a gain of about 5 yards, if that, and Columbia River will take over 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line. So they really did not give up a lot of room against Hockinson after that fumble.
Yeah, it was a nice defensive stand. And if you're Coach Rick Steele here, you decide do you go strategery to the punt or do you go with the trickeration with the double reverse? And he went with the trickeration, but didn't trick anybody. River was all over that. And now they've got 3 minutes and 16 seconds to see if they can put some points on the board late in the first half. Again, they do get the ball to start the second half, too.
And you have to wonder, you might want to switch up some of what your offense is doing. We've seen Watts be productive, getting him out on the edge and rolling him out. So 2 receivers and a tight end on the far side. Sturdivant goes in motion.
Boy, I sure hope that's not another delay of game.
It is another delay.
Well, and when you're coming off and it's your first play right off the sideline, it's those kinds of mistakes that are just going to kill you. And the second time to start a drive, just delay. You back yourself up before you even start. And I don't know if that's a getting signals in issue or an inexperienced sophomore quarterback issue there, but they're killers for sure.
Sturdivant in motion to the near side. A pass over the middle looked to be caught by Kamatule. Small gain of about 2 on that, and so that'll get River back to the 31-yard line. Gain of 3, excuse me. It'll be 2nd and 12. Watts will go with an empty backfield. 3 receivers top of the screen with a tight end. Watts is going to the single coverage to Ayers downfield, and he almost had it in and out of his hands as he was straddling the sideline, and it ends up incomplete. Ayers almost ended up with it.
Pretty nice pass by Watts there, right on target, just over the DB. If he had another foot of sideline, I think it would have been close. If he makes that catch, I'm not 100% sure it's in bounds. He was straddling that line there. I'd be interested to see where his feet are here. But look at that. Nice. He's got time to throw, delivers a nice strike. Boy, it's close right there on the line.
Mm-hmm.
And now here we are, 3rd and long.
Another empty set for Watts in the backfield. Tight end on the left. Spread formation for River. Over the middle, caught by Herrera. Breaks up 1 tackle, and he's near the first down marker, and the referee.
I think he's about a half a yard short. Just right there, just barely short. Oh, pretty spot though.
He's a single yard short, and that's a tough spot. It looked like he stretched out. It could have been a little bit closer. We'll see if his knee was down beforehand. That's
pretty
tough.
Good spot. Pretty good spot. I'll give the Stripes credit there. That was a pretty good on the call. And now here we are, 2 minutes counting down, 4th and 1.
And they're going for it.
They are.
Hockinson jumped off sides a couple of times already today.
Oh, we got something there.
I didn't see any movement on Hockinson.
I think they called a timeout maybe, trying to draw him offside. No, another false start.
False start on River, and his killer. That'll back him up to 4th and 6.
And that pretty much, that almost decides that you need to punt here because you've got 1:39 and counting in the first half.
Mm-hmm. And Lujan getting his football as he's primed to go back and punt.
Boy, the delay of game, then the false start, you look at minus 10 yards. Where are you at now without those penalties? So those mistakes, that'll hurt you. So far, it hasn't been fatal, but they will add up over the course of the game.
So $1:29 left until halftime. We're all tied up at 6. Columbia River scored on their first drive. A beauty of a punt. And Northrop having trouble getting on top of it. It's on the ground. We'll see who they have it or who has it. It looked like Northrop was able to pounce on it. And he had the football. And a close call. River almost set up in great field position with limited time left until halftime. But Hockinson able to get back on top of it.
A really nice boot here, too. Got his leg into it. Not sure. Maybe Northrop just took his eye off it for a split second.
Well, 6-6. What are you thinking they're going to be doing here, Joe?
Well, I think if you go for it. I think you try to get a couple quick strikes over the middle. I think you try to exploit the middle of the field. You got 1:19 left here. If you get a couple positive plays, then you really ramp it up. But I think you've shown, if you're Hockinson, that your defense right now is especially with Watts in, playing pretty well.
Northrop at the bottom. And there's a pass.
Ooh.
And Tallarico making the catch about 15 yards downfield. That'll stop the clock on the first down.
And he's hurt. He got really undercut there on the tackle and took a tough hit.
Here's
beautiful
the replay
catch.
of it. Oldham standing strong and great throw. And yeah, he got hit right in that hip area by Ayers.
Yeah, it was like his left leg or his left hip, like you said.
River guys already down on a knees. They're checking in on things. And
that's the second guy. We just hate to watch stuff like that. It's just so disheartening.
We've seen a couple of big hits out on the field today. In fact, we saw the illegal hit over the middle on Kalamazoo. He was able to pop back up, though. And right now, Tallarico's still on the ground being attended to by, it looks like, 5 individuals.
Yeah, and obviously nothing malicious about the hit, just kind of a fluke play. Really nice catch over the middle, and there's just kind of hit low. Smattering of fans here, by the way, outside not in the facility, but outside the facility, kind of watching through the chain link fence. We've got some lining both sides.
I was going to say, we saw a couple people get their lawn chairs and set them up on the outside, and you're not wrong. There's plenty of people lining that fence out there.
He's getting up, and he's getting 2 people helping him off. And
yeah, he's coming off gingerly. And you're just happy to see that he's not his own power, but at least he's able to put some pressure on it and go forward.
Yeah, senior tight end linebacker there, and they're going to immediately check on him.
And that's huge. That could be a big implication in the second half because Tallarico made that interception down at the goal line to stop River from getting in, and then he made a couple of nice plays offensively as well. So they'll take over. 1:05 left until halftime. Oldham.
Another little draw.
Draw to Wheeler. Looks like Keir made the tackle on Wheeler. Gain of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 6. It's the final. We are now under 50 seconds until halftime.
This is the play that got him the huge gain down by the goal line earlier, and they tried to go back to the well there, and River had prepared after that first one for this one.
Pass for Oldham. Looked left, now he comes back right. And coming up, it looked like Lujan made the interception, and they're giving it to him.
Boy, that's a great play because live I thought it might have skipped off the turf from our vantage point, but what an incredible catch.
You say that, and Juarez is trying to plead that case right now, and it looked like it, but Lujan coming up to make that catch.
Oh, that is not a catch. That definitely hit the turf. Just a kind of a missed call there by the officials. But still an incredible effort on play, and he sold it.
He did.
you make that play.
Battle.
There you go.
Half the battle is selling it.
And now we have 30 seconds left here.
I would expect nothing more than probably just a rush into halftime right now, minimize any type of damage that could happen.
Agreed, but I don't know. Maybe you do one quick strike to the flats with a little space there.
Well, Watts is going to roll out to his right, dealing with some pressure, and he throws to the near side. It was intended for errors.
Oh, we got a flag. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe a late hit or a late something, but there's the flag on the field.
Are they going to call intentional grounding?
Well, yeah, I think you're right because we have someone pleading his case.
We had errors in the vicinity behind where that defender went out of bounds.
Julian Morales was pleading his case on the sideline, saying that he was in the vicinity, but it sure does look like they're calling intentional grounding. And now they're just wasting all of our times because at this point, we're just going to kneel or do a couple runs. And so we got 25 seconds left here. I couldn't tell if there was a guy in the vicinity. It looked like there was a guy out in the.
It was. I don't even know if the intention was necessarily throwing the ball out of bounds, but I know back in Illinois where I'm from, they do call that intentional grounding if you just throw it straight out of bounds. But
Gotcha.
I don't necessarily think that was his intention. He saw a receiver down the field, and I don't think he necessarily had the arm strength to do it on the run. But either way, it looks like they're set up to take a knee here and just go into halftime tied up at 6.
Yeah, when you give him the interception that's not an interception, all's evens there, so call that a wash.
So Watts will take a knee, and the clock is not moving, but it should be. And there it is. Now it is going. And that will end the first half here at Kiggins Bowl, and we've got ourselves a ball game all tied up at 6 between these two teams.
Yeah, it's been a first half defined by defense and by, unfortunately, injuries. One on each side, a late one there for Hockinson with
Tallarico
going down, and then obviously the big one was Purdy going down in the first quarter. And so outside of that, just 2 exceptional performances by defenses, couple red zone stops along the way, a couple timely interceptions, one each way, and so really entertaining game, defensive-minded game, but pretty close. Let's watch some first half highlights here. What do you think?
Well, few big plays, but here's the opening kickoff for Hockinson, and they were able to get a good start beyond their 30-yard line. Couple of first plays, the first 2 plays actually resulted in first downs, and here's Mason Purdy.
Boy, and he does throw a pretty ball too. It's too bad that we didn't get more chance to see him. That was a nice first big play for them out in the flats. I think that got him a first down on a third and long.
And they've been trying to get to Northrup. That's been their number 1 receiver here. You got Victor Flores breaking up that play. And here's one of the final plays for Mason Purdy before he ended up going out of the game. But a diving grab by Ayers.
And then just this, I mean, they've been all over their running game from the moment they stepped on the field. And there has not been a lot of room outside of a draw or 2 or a quarterback keeper. Here's a nice little scramble by Watts to get a nice gain there.
And overall in the first half, what were your thoughts on Watts? You know, tough position to come in. Here's his interception that he had. He was rolling out and just, you think that he probably didn't see the defender in Tallarico who stepped up to make that interception. But overall, tough spot to come in. He's made a couple of nice plays and also made a few mistakes. And what were your thoughts?
Well, first of all, you can tell that he's got a little moxie to him. He's got a little wiggle on the run, and so I think if you've got to try to utilize that as best you can. And here's a nice play.
That's a nice
from
view right there.
Yeah, that really was. But you come cold off the bench, not expecting to do anything. And if you're the coaching staff for River, your whole game plan is probably scrapped because you've got the sophomore there, Watts, that you've got to try to now scheme around and scheme for. But I was impressed with how he kind of composed himself. Just had the one mistake, like he said, he probably just didn't see him. And then there's the pick that wasn't a pick that was a pick. But it goes down as a pick in the book, so good on him. And here we are, all square at 6 at half.
A hard-fought half between the two teams, and you mentioned it. The injuries have been a factor for both sides for these two squads. But for Brian Slyke and Joe Freeman, we'll take a break before we start the second half on the other side.
Hi, I'm Orion Ludlow, a teacher at Fort Vancouver High School. Based on information from the Washington State Department of Health, Vancouver Public Schools is preparing to begin hybrid learning for middle and high school students. Today we're going to take a look at how that's going to look, keeping in mind student and staff safety. Hybrid learning is part in-school instruction and part at-home learning. Students will be placed into 2 groups, A and B. A students will attend class in person on Mondays and Tuesdays, with B students in person on Thursdays and Fridays. Students learn remotely the other 3 days of the week. Between Wednesday will be a day of deep cleaning. Schools will be ventilated at maximum levels. Before students can attend school each day, their parents will confirm that they don't have COVID symptoms using an online form emailed directly to them. On school buses, students will have access to masks and hand sanitizer, and distancing will be maintained. Student pickup and drop-off will take place in designated areas, and to reduce crowding, students should be dropped off as close to the start of school as possible. Before students can enter school buildings, temperature scanners will check for fevers of 100.4 degrees or higher. If a student tests higher than 100.4, they'll be retested. If the second test returns the same temperature, they'll need to go home. In the hallways, student transitions will be limited and staggered to avoid unnecessary contact and preserve distancing. Schools may have arrows or one-way hallways to reduce congestion. Students won't be allowed to gather in groups anywhere on school grounds. At lunch, students will sit 6 feet apart and may have assigned seating to allow for contact tracing if needed. Each building may have slightly different protocols to enforce distancing rules, and school staff will share the details with students and parents. Masks or face shields with a drape will be required at all times. The district can provide masks for students if needed. In the classroom, students will maintain 6 feet of distance between one another. Hand sanitizer will be available as well. Students will bring their own devices to school for classroom use, and sharing of common objects or tools will be minimized, with sanitation happening between each use. Hybrid learning is the first step to getting back to full-time in-person learning. How do we get there? Do the right thing at school and at home. Wear a mask, practice social distancing, and let's get back to business. We can't wait to see you back at school.
Hi everybody, time for a quick look inside Vancouver Public Schools. I'm Nick Vole. The Vancouver School Board has an opening and now is your time to apply. Former board member Kamara Banfield resigned to accept a Clark County judgeship, and congrats to her. So now position number 2 on the board is vacant. The current sitting board members will select her replacement from the pool of applicants. The applications are due March 15th, and you can apply by heading to the district website, vansd.org. You can also get an application by calling 360-313-1200 or by stopping by the Jim Parsley Center on Falk Road. After the applications come in, the board will review them and interview candidates with a swearing-in date targeted for April 13th. To be eligible, you must live within district boundaries and be eligible to vote, and you can't be a district employee. The appointment is temporary until November, when the position will be up for election. So if you're interested in making an impact in your community and helping shape how kids learn, make sure you get your applications in right away. Until next time, I'm Nick Vole. Hi everybody, time for a quick look inside Vancouver Public Schools. I'm Nick Vole. Construction of a new wing here at Columbia River High School is coming along nicely. When it's finished, students and staff will have a new place to teach and learn, and that has them thinking about the future. But thanks to an accident right here, they're also now thinking about a heartwarming piece of their past. The call came into Clark County Fire District 6 just after midnight one night in October. A water main had broken at Columbia River High School, where construction crews were working to build a new wing. 1,600 gallons a minute came roaring out until firefighters managed to close the valves. The next day, Clark Public Utilities came out to fix the pipe and inspect a new fire hydrant. That's when Clark PUD Inspector David Nybert made a discovery.
I saw this glass bottle. I thought it was a beer bottle at first, laying here in some dirt and mud, and I picked it up and realized it was a little bit more than just an old beer bottle.
He cleaned the bottle and looked inside.
There's a little scroll in here with a story and names of students from 1963.
Back in '63, River was just a brand new high school, still establishing its identity. A group of 8th graders planted a gum tree and the bottle on the western edge of campus. Years later, the gum tree died and a wall went up, concealing the bottle until now, when the flood washed it from its hiding place.
But this is quite a find. This is unbelievable.
For Principal Alex Odepal, the timing of this discovery couldn't be better.
It's a great opportunity for our students to really be connected, for our community to be connected to where this school has been on this journey and as we evolve into the future, because this remodel is pretty remarkable.
At an impromptu ceremony, David from the PUD, Construction Project Superintendent Dan Kopp, and Bonnie Womack, a River staff member, joined Principal Odepal to read the scroll inside the bottle. Bonnie is also a River graduate. Her sister was in the class of '67, whose students planted the tree and buried the bottle 4 years earlier.
This liquid dambar, or sweet gum tree, was planted by Advisory 207 of Columbia River High School in the year of our Lord, 1963. The undersigned have helped pick out the tree, raise money through a candy sale, and set it in the earth.
The scroll is being framed and will be given a place of honor when the new wing is completed. It's a fitting tribute to the students who helped build Columbia River into the school it is today, a way to connect the past with the present and the future.
We stand on the shoulders of giants here at River.
Construction is still a couple of months away from completion, but you can keep track of all of the different construction projects going on around the district on the district website. It's vansd.org/reschools. You can see a timeline of past, future, and current projects, and also see what's happening in your neighborhood. Until next time, I'm Nick Bohl.
Here we are for the second half. Should be an entertaining second half. One quick note too that we didn't really notice was there was another injury for River. It looked like senior wide receiver DB Sean Rayne dinged his foot or his leg or something, and unfortunately right now he's also being helped to the parking lot. So I don't expect him to play in the second half, but so that's another big loss for them and what is turning out to be an injury-plagued first half so far, or excuse me, injury-riddled game so far.
Adam Watts warming up for River. So the rest of the guys get out there to warm up. So injuries in the first half for Columbia River was a big issue, and then they also had a couple of turnovers. Now, they were fortunate those turnovers did not turn into points for Hockinson.
But they also didn't turn into points for them. And so, you know, when you're staring at the six-time reigning champs, you're down your starting quarterback, every opportunity you get near the red zone is just crucial. And so giving those up, I mean, we'll see how much it costs them, but so far it certainly has cost them. I will give this for Watts. He has got an incredible head of hair. Those locks are just flowing with that helmet off. And
he's let the lettuce be free right there.
Man, why not? We're in a pandemic. I didn't get a haircut for like 8 months, so I was right there. Well, not quite that much. I'm older than him, but it was flowing for a while there for me.
Yeah, mine just turns into a mullet. Unfortunately, I really can't grow those locks out. I wish I could. Yeah. Looks like he should be like a defenseman in the NHL with that type of hair right there.
He's definitely got a little sunshine to him. So
sunshine.
Yeah, I like it.
Well, here we are, about 90 seconds until the start of the second half. So a tight contest between these two teams. Do you see any adjustments that they're going to be making, possibly get the upper hand here in the second half?
I mean, well, when you look at Hockinson, you had some momentum there late in the first half. You had, you know, a couple of pretty good drives that were stalled, but you finally got a little something together. They have so many weapons on the outside. I just want to see them just start to mix in some quick strike throws with some of their intermediate and long stuff. I know Oldham's been a little off target there, but you got to get your ball to your playmakers as best you can. And then on the other side of the ball, I don't know how much of their game plan is left, but at this point you've had some time to kind of think it over and try to build stuff around Watts. And you know, I see him. He's got some, like I said, he's got some moves with his feet, and I think he can beat you a little bit with his legs. So, you know, maybe get some stuff going outside, some play action reads if that's available in your playbook. But I don't think that as of right now, with the pressure that you're going to be getting from Hockinson, that you can rely on his arm to steady you down the field. So it'll be interesting. And right now it is a chess match because we're 6-6. We're 20 seconds away from starting the half, and it still is anybody's game.
Yeah, well, you have to admit that in that first half, the way they started this game, Purdy was alone in the backfield on every single snap. So you knew they were focusing with an emphasis on getting the ball through the air against this Hockinson defense. But with Purdy not on the field, you lose his arm. He's been so good through the air in this abbreviated season. And Watts just, there's nothing wrong with his arm. He just doesn't have that experience, that connection with everybody. And when you're thrown in there as a sophomore running with your head cut off, basically, with people coming at you left and right, he's handled himself pretty darn well and acceptable. So
yeah, and from Hawkinson's perspective, I mean, coming in, Coach Rick Steele said, you know, Purdy is the guy that makes their offense go, and so now they're going to have to, you know, lean on a different guy, Watts, to kind of push them forward, to help them go, and so it's kind of been sluggish on both ends offensively. Like I said, you know, the line of scrimmage, two teams that are really good in the trenches, and I think both teams have kind of owned the trenches so far. So let's see what we got here dialed up for the second half. It will be Rivers' ball.
48 degrees here as we start the second half. Out to kick is John Charles for Hockinson. Back for Rivers, Kalamazoo, and Sturdivant. And here's a high kick to Max Sturdivant.
He's going to have room to roam.
Receives it at the 11, a spin move, and then slips on the turf. And the last person to make that touch was number 17, James Cruz.
You know, while we're talking about Sturdivant, you know, a lot of these guys kind of gave out some shout-outs for live stream or broadcast and stuff, and his was especially touching. He wanted to give a shout-out to his papa, Larry Mason, who's his biggest cheerleader and who is continuing his battle with cancer. Wanted to give him a little I love you shout-out there, so hang in there, Papa, and good on Sturdivant for that.
Yeah, love to see it, love to hear it. As Watts and Columbia River set to start the second half. River will start out two receivers on the near side. Kalamazoo down in the tight end position. Now it's an empty set for Watts. Two receivers top of the screen.
Again, I was just going to say, hopefully we can get the play off without a delay of game, and I don't know what is going on from the signals to the play calls to the lining up in formations, but that is the third straight first down out of a huddle that has resulted in a penalty for River. And if that, I mean, needless to say, if that continues, this is going to go sideways for them in a hurry.
I mean, there must be some type of confusion out there because normally you've got some play in mind that you want to go right off the bat. This throw too high and away from Sturdivant as it'll bounce towards the stands, and we'll start over again at 2nd and 15.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to be debating a 2nd and long or a 3rd and short, but when you're coming out of the huddle on first down, you should have two choices, if not just one call. If for whatever reason they're getting their signals crossed up, and right now they're already behind the 8 ball on 2nd down, so they're not going to have a lot of time to check here at the line of scrimmage.
And you would almost think that it's pretty black and white for a sophomore quarterback. They're not going to be trying to throw anything out there that's going to be tricking him while he has to read a defense for too long. And a pass over the middle through the hands of Kalamazoo.
Boy, that's a crusher. When you have a chance, and there hasn't been a lot of chances like that, when you've got a guy open, you hit him right in the hands, and the ball slips right through. And he's made a couple incredible catches tonight, so it's odd for such a sure-handed guy to let that slip right through. But he even had some room behind him to make some noise after if he had caught that.
Well, Lujan in the game at receiver along with Flores there at the top of the screen. Kalamazoo will be the tight end on the far side of the field as well. Jacob Heirs on the near side. Watts is looking for him. A high arcing ball down the sideline. Did he bring it down or was it intercepted?
I think it's picked.
The two of them are fighting over. There's both on the ground right now. The referee coming over. No indication has been made by any of the referees right now. Or off the bat, it looked like Hockinson got the pick. The way Heirs was fighting for it on the ground, you could see that they could possibly give him possession.
Boy, it sure looked like Jason Kerr picked that out of the sky, though. This is an interesting call for the officials. I think they're going to give it to River. And they are not. They're calling the
and exception for Hockinson, and that's a tough one to take.
That's one of the olds when the tie goes to the offense, but I don't think it was much of a tie. I really think Kerr was in front.
Kerr had it right off the bat, and then as they got to the ground, it looked like Heirs was really trying to make a case for away from him. So the referees end up making what seemed to be the right call. So a turnover to start River's second half off.
And we'll see what kind of halftime adjustments we see from Hockinson now that they've had a chance to size up River so many times over the years. So many talented players have come through there, and it's oftentimes these second half adjustments that make the difference in so many of those 29 league wins. in the last 30 league games.
And a flag thrown, and we've got a delay of game on the upside this time around.
I don't know that I've ever seen.
I've never seen this many delay games.
Not just that, but out of a timeout, out of a change of possession. You should. It's mystifying. But maybe that's what happens when you have very little practice time. You know, and preseason camp has been condensed.
Here on the outside and brought down at the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd and 15. That was Andre Northrup.
Yeah, like we were saying earlier, the secondary for River is just quick. They're on the ball. It doesn't matter if it's in the air, it's in someone's hands. It's running it. It seems to be a lane every now and then, and it just collapses in a hurry. I've been really impressed with the play of the secondary for River so far. And to be sure, Hockinson has a lot of weapons on the outside, as we've seen from Northrup, seen from Johnson.
It'll be Wheeler taking the handoff. Halter and Kalmatsule there to wrap him up, and that'll stop him for a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd and 13 for Hockinson.
Boy, it feels like every other drive we have a 3rd and long. And I will say there's been some impressive conversions so far. As you see Wheeler get the carry. He's not had a lot of chances today. And, of course, as we mentioned earlier, Hockinson playing without their main running back who was out of town at a wedding.
Northrup's now in at quarterback. He's taking the snaps here. Direct snap, he's going to run with it. Has an opening, and he's got himself close to the first down. We'll see if they give it to him. They're going to mark him just short. So a pickup of about 12.5 yards. 4th and a yard.
Looks like Rick Steele, after a fairly erratic game last week by Oldham and a fairly erratic first half today, he's just going to turn to arguably his best athlete and see if he can't lead him to the win here. We got a 4th and short. We'll see what his grasp is of the playbook.
Northrop, the handoff to Wheeler. They've got the first down, spinning his way past the 30-yard line and brought down at the 26-yard line.
So in the last 2 weeks, we've seen Northrop return a kickoff 100 yards for a touchdown. Pick 6 at about 23, 24 yards. We've seen that beautiful back shoulder touchdown catch today, and now he's in at quarterback. So is there anything? Is he going to be up here calling the second half with us next? Like, what has he got next to offer?
Let's see if he can really toss the pill around here. We've only seen him hand the ball off or take the direct snap for a run so far. Just got ourselves a 6-6 ball game. Just under 9.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Northrop will run with it again on the right side. Got a couple of blockers out in front of him. Halter wraps him up and tries to bring him down, and it looks to be close to a first down. They'll mark it down a 2nd and 1 after the pickup of 9.
Yeah, and as Hockinson gets in the red zone, it's worth noting here that this is an area they have worked on all week in practice. They struggled mightily in the red zone last week as Northrop drops back to pass. His first pass of the night or day is...
Nice ball out there for Johnson and broken up by Jacob Heirs.
But yeah, last week against Woodlands, had multiple failed red zone attempts. 2 turnover on 4th down, a missed field goal, and an interception in the end zone. So 4 or 5 trips down there resulted in 0 points, which kept that game closer than you might have might have thought. And so now here we are on 3rd and short in the red zone. We'll see if they can't reverse that trend after working on it all week in practice.
2 receivers on each side of the formation. We are on the right side of Northrop.
Got pressure up the middle here. They're right all over it. Just a beautiful run blitz from the jump.
Halter and Kate Craig on the tackle there in the backfield.
And now it's decision time. In a 6-6 defensive-minded game, do you try the long field goal or do you go for it? And I don't think there's any hesitation. They are going for it on about 4th and 2.
Yeah, besides that last play, they've picked up a good chunk of yards on each of their previous plays. So no doubt that you think they'd be going for it right now.
I think you get the ball in Northrop's hands and just let him try to make some magic. That's what I'm doing if I'm behind the play call.
Yeah, give it to your best athlete. They give it to Wheeler. Wheeler gets a push from Northrop, and he breaks the 15-yard line, ends up at about the 13-yard line, and a first down for Hockinson.
Big play right there on 4th and down, and that play looked like it was snuffed out again as the 3rd down was. Pressure up the middle, 2 guys on him, just slips that first tackle, powers ahead for the first down, and a big play here as Hawkinson's got one of its best drives of the game so far.
I don't know if you just noticed, but it's both Northrop and Johnson going to the offensive coordinator, getting the play call.
Interesting.
And then Northrop gets to the huddle. So we've got trips left. Johnson alone at the top of the screen. He's going to roll left. Northrop looking for a receiver. Now he's going to tuck it and run. Halter came up, made the initial contact. Now it's Sturdivant and Keir making the tackle at looks to be about the 7-yard line.
Such a big decision by Coach Rick Steele to make the quarterback change at halftime. Obviously, did he bang up his hand there? It's tough to say. You know, you're struggling there at quarterback. You try to get your best athlete with the ball, but you take away an athlete from the perimeter. You take away perhaps your best receiver. So a big decision there.
Northrop trying to get the snap. Now it's a handoff to Wheeler up the middle. Keir makes contact up high. It was another river down at the legs. And that looked to be number 2, Herania, who initially made contact on that run.
Yeah, and you have to assume that Northrop's grasp of the playbook, at least from the quarterback position, is a little bit more limited than it was, and we're going to get a timeout here. I think Hawkinson's going to think this over. Such a big play in this game, 3rd and 5. As I talked about, the red zone issues last week, so they're going to get a little more time to confer. But yeah, it's you know, what is his? How much of that playbook does he feel comfortable running, and how much of the playbook does the coaching staff feel kind of given towards him? And now that's a similar, I think, problem we're facing on both ends, and what his and might continue to be a defensive stalwart kind of game. Let you guys know, hybrid learning is set to begin for freshmen on Monday. Parents, quick reminder, you'll have to fill out a health form each day your student is in the building, and that form will be emailed to you. Group A students, they'll be attending classes Monday and Tuesday, with Group B students attending Thursday and Friday. Wednesday will be a day of deep cleaning and remote learning, and barring a spike in COVID numbers, sophomores, juniors, and seniors begin on March 15th.
Wheeler takes the handoff on the right side. Blows through one river defender. A helmet pops off at the end of the play. Forward momentum stopped him at the 4-yard line. So initially it seems like they're short by a yard. It'll be 4th and 1. And it was actually Wheeler's helmet that popped off at the end of the play, so he'll have to head to the sideline.
I think they're going to kick the field goal. And you know what? I'm normally a go-for kind of guy. And maybe I'm wrong. They're not going to kick a field goal. But when you're in a 6-6 game that's been defined by defense, what have you got to – I mean, why not get the lead? Why not get a 3-point lead when you're down this close, especially when you've had such trouble in the red zone? And now it looks like they're going to – we had a late –
called a timeout.
They had a late sub come in. It looked like number 53 – he kind of was late to get in from the sideline.
Andrew Thielen.
Yeah, and so they had to call the timeout there. And maybe that'll make them rethink, but it sure looked like they were going to kick the field goal there.
Well, you have to think about it. You don't have your starting running back here today. You just lost Wheeler for the next play because he has to come out with his helmet coming off. So you're down your 2 best running backs, and then you've got a non-quarterback back there trying to lead your offense. Now, he's made some nice plays. You think, yeah, you could probably go for it right now, but it's a condensed field.
Mm-hmm. And again, you know, you're facing a team that also has lost their quarterback, and so 3 points is you know, could end up deciding the game. So you don't know how many more chances you're going to get back down here. You've had red zone issues the last 2 weeks. Let's see if you can't get that sure bet.
Well, John Charles now back to kick. Looks like Northrop's got his knee down at the 11. It'll be a 21-yard kick. It's up. This one, it looked like it could have gone wide left, and the state is good.
Just snuck it in on the left goalpost there.
And so it's a 3-point lead for Hockinson. They started out down 6-0, and they scored a touchdown just before the end of the half, and now they take the lead 9-6 with just over half the third quarter left to go.
Good news for River is you've been here before. You've been down before. First throw of the season, first play of the season was an interception. Then they got down to Woodland. I believe it was 19-3, 19 or 16-3, and that opener had to come back with 19 unanswered points to win. So you've faced, kind of being down and having your backs against the wall so far this season. So that's the good news. The bad news, of course, is that they will have to do it without their dual threat quarterback. So
without their dual threat quarterback, without one of their receivers as well.
Good point.
Well, Sturdivant had a nice return the last time he was out there. Unfortunately, we talked about it on both sides. Coming out with a penalty to start off your drive, really setting things back for Columbia River opening up this second half, and so they really didn't have anything going.
Well, so far, it's certainly not been the game we expected because of the unfortunate injuries, but it has been what we expected in that it's been close, and it's been hard fought, and I expect that to continue. It'll be interesting to see how River answers here, facing their first deficit.
Angled kick to the sideline, hitting at about the 33-yard line, and Sturdivant fields it inbound, sidesteps, gets away from one defender, and he's brought down at about the 26-yard line on that tackle. It looked to be Drake Lubin who made that tackle. So Sturdivant and Columbia River will take over 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. So Watts has gotten in trouble leaving the ball up in the air a couple of times.
I got to be honest, Brian, I just want him to get the ball. I don't want to see a delay of game here.
Yeah.
I want to see him get the ball off. No penalties. Here we go. All right. Got him
out to the flat to Kier. Can't break away, and the tackle made in the open field by Adam Newt.
Boy, if he can slip away from Newt there, he's got a little bit of room on the perimeter to run.
And that's a huge play on the edge, making that open field tackle, because if he breaks that initial tackle, he's easily got a first down.
Sure does. You look at him just out there. Nice ball right in his pocket, and just a nice ranging tackle there.
So 2nd and 10 after no gain. Tight end on the left side. Watts backing up, throws, trying to go back shoulder, incomplete, intended for Blau. Correction, intended for Sturdivant.
I think he had to throw a little bit earlier than he wanted. He was under a little bit of pressure up the middle. Just couldn't get his feet set and deliver an accurate strike.
And here's the replay. And you can see that he's sensing that pressure a little bit as he's almost on that back foot delivering that pass. Tight end on the right side now. Empty formation for Watts in the backfield. He's got pressure in his face. Throws a high ball to Sturdivant. Oh my goodness!
Wow.
In the air, adjusting, lands on the ground, makes the catch with one hand inbounds. And we have a flag on the play. If it stands, it'll be a first down for Columbia River. But Sturdivant, oh my gosh, what a catch. I've seen a couple of those today.
He kind of threw up a prayer, and it was answered with just an incredible play. Lands right in his basket. Nice little one-handed comeback. Now, I'm not sure what the flag is. Sturdivant did have a little something to say to Hockinson after he made that incredible catch. I didn't see what area. The flag's right here by the sideline.
I think it was some type of contact by Hockinson.
Looks like the play will stand.
Yep.
The question is...
And what about Sturdivant to keep his eye on the ball? Jumped early, landed, still able to contort his body to get the one-handed grab to his side.
He's so dynamic in space, and he obviously just has his hand-to-eye coordination is incredible there. The balance that you have to come back to get that ball.
A lot of pressure up front, and the receiver coming back is Sturdivant. He'll make the catch at about the 49. They'll call him out at the 48-yard line.
Another penalty on the flag, and now
And
a
a
second
second
penalty.
one. And
that was something that Hockinson, that he said on his way back. Tanner Cass had a little something to say to, I couldn't tell who it was to, but
to number 62, Caden Craig.
That's screaming dual unsportsmanlike penalties that will offset, but we'll see.
And right now, Hockinson, that defensive line is causing a lot of pressure right now on Adam Watts. Watts has done a great job getting out of the pocket and fortunate to get a couple catches to go his way. Let's see what the call is. We've got a hold on Columbia River. And then we have a personal foul against Hockinson.
So do you call the hold and then the personal foul afterward, or are they just offsetting?
I'm not sure because one's technically a dead ball foul.
Right, and they're marking.
Do you do the 10 and then mark it back 15 and then
just get yourself a net 5?
Yeah.
That's what they're going to do. Now, I hope the whole teams don't go back because they're going to be coming right back your way.
Yeah, right. You should have just stayed right where you were.
Here we go.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Couldn't you just walk forward 5 yards?
Just give yourself 3 yards. You know what, though? It was fun to watch. As long as
we're getting our steps in, you know?
You got to get a little, hey, the pandemic's been hard on all of us. So, you know, get a little extra exercise in.
It is the hold. It's from where the hold was.
Gotcha.
So I will say that.
Either way, a crushing penalty there on Hockinson when you would have had a big 1st and long, and instead now if you're River, you're staring at a 1st and 8.
Mm-hmm. Blitz put on by Hockinson. Watts falling backwards, can't get his pass completed to Herenia. And Hockinson has just been drawing up the blitz the last 3 plays.
And, you know, that's their MO like we've talked about. And then with Watts, you know, you kind of feel for him because his head's probably spinning a little bit. He's has no time to throw. So he's having to do a lot on the run, not getting a lot of time to set his feet. Right here you see that pressure up in the middle and from the edge.
Under 5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 9-6.
Good protection there and a nice throw. Look at that. I mean, Sturdivant quite clearly right now is your best weapon. He's a guy, he seems to get open on every play, and when he's not open, he finds a way to make the catch. So I'm moving him around. I'm getting him the ball as often as possible.
Empty set for Watts, tight end to the left. Watts looking back right. It's Sturdivant, and it looks like he's got enough for a first down.
And that's a complete on the
Really nice, just a simple down and out there, simple first down play. We all ran it in Pop Warner football, and here we are, watch the replay. He's got just enough time to set, make a perfect throw, nice catch. Man, really a wonderful play. Kept his composure, didn't lose sight of his man down the field. Scrambled away from the pressure and delivered a nice pass. Just a simple 4 or 5 yard pickup, but he avoided a loss, got a manageable 2nd down, kept the drive going, and that's the kind of thing. His last 2 or 3 throws have been maybe his 2 or 3 best throws of the day. He's maybe finally starting to kind of adjust to that pressure and settle down. Watts scrambles through the pressure there. Ooh, just a little underthrown. And, man, Hockinson just keeps bringing it relentlessly. And, again, back to that first down scramble and just a simple simple first down play means the world, because now you have a manageable 3rd and 5. And this is a really important play here because with how well Hawkinson's defense has been playing, you wonder how many chances you're going to get on some kind of drive.
Tight end on the left side, 3 receivers, crosser, and he throws this one high, intended for Jake Ayers, and Watts is upset with himself. He knew he wanted that one back as soon as he threw it.
Boy, he makes that throw. He just airmailed a little because he was open to that, and you have a first down and more if you complete that pass. I mean, and the thing is, he had time. He wasn't under pressure. He just kind of threw off his back foot. It sailed on him. And
that comes back to the pressure, though, that Hockinson had brought the last 4 plays. He's feeling that pressure. He's got the happy feet, and you saw it right there, chopping his feet and then threw off his back foot in the high throw. So, again, 3 receivers top of the screen with the tight end. Ayers crossing.
Going over the middle, he had him. He was too late.
Now he throws another high one, and Wheeler can't knock it down. Caught by Jake Ayers, has the block down the sideline and out of bounds at about the 14-yard line. They'll mark him down at the 18. A huge pickup for Columbia River, and Adam wants the delivery to Jake Ayers.
See, they fooled me. They had crossing routes over the middle, and I saw Ayers early open up, but they wanted to get him late when he got outside. Just a beautiful play call, and beautiful execution as he rolls out and just hits Ayers on the run. And then Ayers just kind of tiptoes down the sideline to get his team down there inside the red zone. And now things are getting interesting, Brian. I really like where this game's at. Entertaining, fun. Let's keep going here.
Well, River back in the red zone. The last time they were down here was an interception made by Jake Tallarico. He's not in the game. Screen pass, it looked like to be set up. It looked too easy for that defensive line. And Keir just breaking pass, nowhere near the ball. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for River.
That play had no chance from the beginning. I mean, that's just, you're lucky you get away with just an incomplete pass.
Well, I like what they're thinking. You've seen Hockinson draw up that blitz about 4 out of the last 6 plays, 5 out of the last 7 plays. You try to get them to come up field, draw that screen pass, and just unable to get it to Keir.
We got another flag on the field. Not quite sure what I think it's holding. I think that pressure got to them there. They're marking. See what we have. No, I think they're calling an illegal or intentional grounding. And I wondered about that live. I almost said something because I didn't see anyone in the vicinity, but you said you thought it was a screen pass, and so
I thought Keir was over here, and you can't really see it on the screen. But Keir was a slot receiver, and he had stopped. It looked like.
Well, I tell you, that's a crusher because that's a loss of down, and so now you're staring at a 2nd and 20.
Mm-hmm.
You go from a nice 1st down and 10 in the red zone to a 2nd and 20, and all of a sudden you're reeling again. Let's see this play one more time. Yeah, I don't see Keir there. He's off the screen.
He's just off the screen. He's only 5 yards down the field at that point, and this pass incomplete on the near side. It'll be 3rd and 20.
Well, that's another tough miss right there because you pick up 8-10 yards. You kind of have a fairly decent or reasonable 3rd down, and now you're just staring at a lot of green to pick this up. I mean, I don't even know what you draw up here, honestly.
It's difficult. I mean, you're trying to pick up 5 to 10 yards on this play alone. Like, even remotely get yourself up into field goal position, and it's intercepted.
Who else?
By Northrop.
Who else?
He made a couple of nice plays offensively, and now the safety makes the interception in the red zone. And unfortunate for River as Watts throws his 3rd interception of the game. Northrop coming up big.
Yeah, I think you kind of get in that 3rd and long situation. The play's not there, so you try to make something happen. He overthrew his receiver just right to Northrop, who is just continuing his incredible highlight a minute season.
So Jared Oldham back in at quarterback, Northrop on the outside. So you have to wonder, Hawkins just changing things up, try to get something going for him. To start the second half, they got 3 points. Now they bring back Oldham. Juarez in motion. Hand off to Wheeler.
And now you kind of wonder, I saw Oldham throwing on the sideline there. during that defensive series for Hockinson, and I wondered, you know, is there something physically wrong with him? Was it a move to give him a break? Was it a total quarterback change? And now you just wonder, but he's back in the game regardless. And now they're staring at a 2nd and 7.
Twins on each side. Wheeler in the backfield. Juarez in motion. Play action. Screen pass to Northrup. Breaks away. He's got some open field out in front of him.
He's gone.
Makes a defender miss. Kamatue can't make the tackle, and Lujan comes across the field to make the tackle. He missed the initial tackle on Northrup, but rebounded and able to make the tackle at the 29-yard line of Columbia River.
There was one River defender that just slowed him down enough to prevent what would have been a touchdown. But he goes from one side of the field to the other, weaving in and around. It was right there. He bumped into his own man. That's what it was. Just a great play call and a really nice play. And we've got an injured River player down on the field now, right about the 24-yard line.
And
it's hard to make out who it is because he's laying on his back. Got 3 trainers around him.
It's number 19, Samu Kamatule. Just made a couple of nice grabs, blown up a couple of Hockinson plays in the backfield today on some sweeps. And now he is down on the field at the 25-yard line. Well, Hockinson has seemed like a completely different team here in the second half. They were slow and sparted out a couple of times in the first half against this River defense, and here they switched it up with Northrup at quarterback, sort of a wildcat formation, and now they're driving here on their second drive.
Yeah, and they really have all the momentum here. Just one big play there to get them down within striking distance, and here we have he's kind of hobbling a little bit off the field. He is walking mostly under his own power with a little bit of help from a trainer.
Kamatule walking gingerly. And that's a blow on your defensive line. As your starting DN, like I said, he's made a couple of nice plays in the backfield today.
And had a couple of really nice catches over the middle, too, on offense. This really, boy, you feel like if Hockinson goes up 2 scores, there's a lot of game left, but it's certainly...
It's a daunting task with how the offense has been playing.
And their defense, with that pressure, you know, feeling buoyed to just bring it even more, which is what I would feel if I was running things. There's that draw again.
Back into it, and River not fooled. Keir coming up and laying a big hit on Wheeler. And that'll make it 2nd and 10. No gain on a play.
We got about a minute left in the quarter here. Second and long.
Twins formation, 2 receivers each side. Wheeler on the right side of Oldham.
You got to go to Northrup here, right?
Juarez in motion. It's a sweep to Juarez on the right side. Ran out of real estate, pushed out of bounds by Ayers. Solid pickup, about 6 or 7 yards for Hockinson, and really set yourself up for no doubt 2 down territory. You're within 5 yards.
It's a little simple jet sweep right, just enough to pick up, get him at 3rd and manageable. Now you got a lot more options on this play.
3rd and 4. It'll be trips left. Kenyon Johnston, the lone receiver, top of the screen, getting instructions from Oldham. Flores dropping back in the corner. Looks to be man-to-man. Over the middle, tipped and incomplete. Halter got his hand on it. Keir almost had the interception on the back end of it. Oldham didn't even look right on the single coverage.
Yeah, he stayed in the pocket really nicely. Kind of had the pressure up the middle there. Keeps his feet, throws it, and this nice broken up nicely.
Flores did a nice job on the back end. It was a stop and go for Johnson at the top of the screen and didn't bite, stayed with his man the entire time. So it's 4th and 4. River needs a stop here. They go to Johnson on the outside on the slant. He makes the catch, and Flores will make the tackle. And that'll be Aiden Flores. And they're saying he did hit the ground. No advancement. So 1st and 10 for Hockinson at the 13-yard line of Columbia River.
Yeah, and Johnson, the long and rangy 6'2", 180-pound kid. Nice soft hands, nice catch.
Run up the middle to Wheeler. Initially met by Casanova, brought down by Halter. Minimal gain. Oh, correction, actually, he got a few more yards out of it than initially thought.
Here we go back to the end of the third quarter. We'll delve into that. As we kind of switch over to the fourth quarter, though, back down in the red zone again after the troubles last week. Hasn't exactly been sterling today, so we'll see if Hockinson can deliver something here to the start of the fourth quarter.
Well, they lead by 3, 9-6. Looks to be about 2nd and 6 at the 9-yard line. And what are you expecting Hockinson to come out here in the fourth quarter, Joe?
Well, this is your chance to kind of take this game and take total control of this game. So, I'd like to see them draw something up from Northrop, get him out in space, maybe a little play action read or a read option or something like that. Because obviously, the plotting up the middle is not going to get it done down here, not from this distance. So I don't know. If I was behind the mic, that's the one I would pick if I had the headphones on. But let's take a quick moment to recognize the students working on tonight's broadcast. They're doing a heck of a job. Most of them are students in the district's video production programs who are learning about careers in television. In addition to the students on cameras tonight, we have more back in the control room, directing, running replays, graphics, and audio. Over the course of the year, students from at least 8 middle and high schools will participate. Thanks to all of these students for giving their time to bring local sports to our community. And never before, without being able to have every fan you want in the building, has it been more important. So really a great job by these kids who are crushing it today.
Yeah, huge thank you to them. So 2nd and 7, ball on the 9-yard line, trips left, Johnson alone on the near side. Going to the flat and some miscommunication between the quarterback and his receiver. Northrop was in the end zone. He's looking at the flat, whether it was Juarez or Northrop.
It looked like Northrop ran a fade, and Oldham thought maybe he was going to kind of do a post middle or just a slant middle, and got their wires crossed there, and now they're staring at a third and about 7, right at the 9-yard line. Let's see this replay here to exactly what happens. Couldn't tell right there, but big play right here. 3rd and long.
2 receivers each side. Juarez in the slot.
Looks like we're going to take a timeout here.
Yep, timeout called by Hockinson.
I like the call. You might as well, this is a immensely important play in this game. You might as well confer and come up with something good.
Yeah, you're trying to punch this one in the end zone, really separate yourself from Columbia River with this 3-point lead.
It looked like Northrop's over there, was talking to one of his coaches about something as his teammates. He was over wide on that side of the field, so he was near the sideline of his team, and then him and his coach were talking about something. I don't know if it was the last play because of them getting their wires crossed, or if it had to do with this one, but I would keep an eye on number 1 and see what they draw up for him right here.
And right now he's alone at the top of the screen. You can see him on the left side, now just out of view.
Yeah, defended by Kate Lujan there in single coverage, although it does look like there's a safety high too, though. So,
yeah, that's Victor Flores. Juarez is in motion. Hand off to Wheeler, going back inside. Halter coming up over the top. He'll make the tackle along with Keir and a couple other River players. Casanova also in that one.
Well, that was the question. Do you go for the field goal again? Do you push it to where you have to get a touchdown to win or tie, or do you looks like they're going to go for it. They kicked the field goal last time to take the 3-point lead.
Well, you have to think about it. You know, River had an opportunity to kick a field goal. They decided not to do that. And so you have to think that they're going for it. And what I was going to get to is, you know, the field goal is not the end-all, be-all. You're forcing River to score a touchdown anyways, either way. Oldham rolling out to his left.
There's no one open.
Has a couple of blockers. Wheeler puts up a hard block. Now he's got Casanova chasing him down from behind, and he's got the sack at the 14-yard line.
What
a huge play from the defensive lineman.
I tell you what, he's running 6'1", 230, chasing a multi-sport athlete who is all kinds of athleticism. Just a heck of a play to chase him down in space. I mean, how often do you see a big dude like that chase down a quarterback in space? Look at that. Just takes him down.
Get after him, big fella. And that'll be a first down now for Columbia River, a huge stop.
So back to what I was kind of intimating. So you kick the field goal there, you go up 6, then you're forcing, River to score a touchdown to beat you, whereas now River just needs a field goal to tie the game. So I like the aggressiveness. Like I said, I'm usually a go-for-it kind of guy. But, man, taking a 6-point lead to the way this game has gone sure feels like a lot.
Watts taking a shot downfield. Sturdivant had it in his hands and knocked away by number 17, James Cruz, down the sideline. Sturdivant gives him a pat on the shoulder pad on a nice play. But, wow, nice throw from Watts as well.
I could watch Sturdivant and Northrop try to catch passes all day.
Absolutely. Here's one more look at it. Had it in his hand and
kind of hit his helmet.
As Cruz was sort of falling to the ground, was able to break up that pass. So 2 receivers top of the screen. Herenia, the tight end. Now you've got 3 receivers plus Herenia, the tight end. Empty backfield for Watts.
You have to get some positive yards here if you're River. You have to.
Ball tipped at the line. Flores had a hand on it but unable to corral it. So the defensive line with a stop for Hockinson. It'll bring up 3rd and 10 now for Columbia River.
Yeah, and then I guess if going back to what I was saying, they could have kicked the field goal. And when you're Hockinson, you're saying, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Have you seen our defense? And obviously with the backup quarterback in and the way your defense is playing, worst case here, you're making River go, 80 yards, 70 or 85 yards, and so far 2 plays in, they don't look like much of a threat. So
and that was the point I was getting to, is that River has struggled getting the ball down the field.
Yeah.
With their backup quarterback. Yes, they've had a couple of drives where they were able to move the ball, but not able to punch it in. A timeout called by River here. 10:42 left in the game. It'll be 3rd and 10 from their own 15-yard line, and it's a tough spot to be in. Obviously, you want to pick up all 10, but if you can pick up 5, 6, maybe even 7 yards, you like where you're at.
Yeah, that's what I was saying on that. That second down play was so important because you sure just wanted to get 4 or 5 yards, give yourself a manageable 3rd down, and now you got to call a timeout to kind of dig deep in the playbook here to come up with something that you haven't shown. Another 3rd and long. We'll see what they come up with. They're still huddling there. And that the clock is not your friend right now if you're River. You got 10:42 left. It's just a 3-point game, but it sure feels like a lot more than a 3-point game right now.
Tough task ahead of the sophomore quarterback and Adam Watts, coming out 3rd and 10 from their own 15-yard line.
Nice to see some cheerleaders here in the crowd.
Giving them their props as well.
I live in Oregon, and the football it's tightly regulated. There's only X amount of fans in, and it X amount of people, which includes both teams, all the officials. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of cheerleaders at high school football games in Oregon.
A bunch formation on the right side for River. Sturdivant was a running back in the backfield. Watts, high arcing ball and trying to throw it to Jacob Heirs, making a comeback effort, and he slips on the turf, unable to make the catch at the 32-yard line. It'll be 4th and 10 now.
And that's the problem when you're facing 3rd and long. You've got the pressure of Hockinson coming up the gut or off the edge or both. And even if you have a little bit of time, look, he's harassed, and you can't get enough arm on it because it's such a long play to develop, such a long developing play. And it's tough against this relentless defense.
Kate Lujan now back to kick. His heels near the goal line for Columbia River. The punt almost blocked, and Lujan to the ground. He got the flag.
Wow,
he
sold it.
Get that man an Oscar right
there.
He
sold it. It was a late flag, and I think the official just couldn't help himself. There was contact.
Yeah,
there was
Tyler
definitely
Little
contact.
came in.
Yeah, but I don't know. Hey, contact, sold it. Like you said, give the man his Oscar. I don't think. Last I checked, there's not an NBA flopping rule in Washington high school football. So, oh no.
It'll still be 4th down.
Oh, they're just calling it. No, I think he's. Yeah, you're right.
It'll still be 4th down, but Lujan
So what did he call? Just
what
running
every
into
punter
the
was ever supposed to do, and flopping on that one.
Here we go. Let's see this replay. Oh,
And it didn't hit his plant leg. It looked like
Yeah.
he got the leg that had the extension just as he was coming down. Had he hit his plant leg, it probably would have resulted in a 1st down. But in this one, just running
here's
the
the
kicker
play.
to go
Let's
for
see.
5 yards.
Comes off the edge.
And yeah, he jumped up in the air. He got himself into no man's land. So, 4th and 5 from the 20.
And they're not even bringing pressure this
Yeah,
time.
no pressure this time. Lujan's
I was
going
going
to
to say,
fake.
just run it. You've got all kinds of green.
He's
and
got to
he's
beat number
gonna pick it up.
75. He's got the
gonna
edge,
pick
and he's
it
got
up.
the 1st down.
Wow.
What a play. The heads-up play right there by Kate Lujan. The punter getting the 1st down for Columbia River.
You saw it develop. He kind of held the ball. There was no pressure by Hockinson. Let's watch the replay here. He's going to go to – he's reading it. It's
Yeah,
an
he's
obvious
looking
play,
down
yeah.
the field.
And watch this hesitation at the end. Just enough to get around the big guy and get a 1st down.
Huge play by Kate Lujan to extend this drive for Columbia River. Now, they're saying that football is just barely at that line.
1st down, they gave it to him.
They will give it to him. I honestly thought he got pushed in front of that line for a 1st down, so they're fortunate that they were able to get enough of the spot from the referee. So it'll be 1st and 10 now from the 25. New life for Columbia River.
And if you're Lujan, you put that on your highlight reel, right?
Absolutely.
That's the first thing. You don't show the punt, the 80-yard punt. You show that play right there to start the highlight reel.
Got trips left with receivers, tight end as well. Adam Harania down.
Single
Watts,
coverage
the
up
empty
top.
formation.
He's
Now
got room
rolls
to
out-
run.
Rolls out to his left, a high pass, this time to Lujan. The sidestep to beat a defender. Couple of Hawks coming in now to stop him, and forward progress looks to stop him at the 44-yard line. Andre Northrup was the first Hawk there trying to punch the ball loose. But Kate Lujan, a couple of big plays. First the fake punt, and now he makes the catch down the sideline.
What's amazing is you're staring at a 4th and long, backed up near your own end zone, punting the ball. You give a little acting job. You get a little fake punt. And now here you are across midfield staring at a 1st and 10. It's amazing how quickly things turn.
Lujan, the senior, having a big day as of late on
That's a
senior
false
day.
start.
And you'll have a false start on Columbia River.
It had been a while since we saw a 1st down penalty, which has plagued River all game, but there it is again at yet another pivotal moment. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Isn't that the old cliche?
Yes, it is. Victor Flores, the receiver, along with Jacob Heirs and Kate Lujan. Sturdivant out there as well.
Everybody's bunched in tight here at the line of scrimmage. You wonder if there's going to be some kind of cross or some kind of jet sweep or something.
Definitely a crossing pattern coming up. Sturdivant on the cross. Here's a pass out to Kate Lujan. He flattened his route out while Watts' pass was leading him up the field, so it's incomplete on 1st and 15.
I want to see Sturdivant get involved here. We haven't seen him touch the ball here in the last couple plays. Seen him make some big catches today, and really like to see them draw something up for him.
Well,
now
he also had that interception at the end of the first half. Now I'm using a bit of air quotes there as the ball bounced in, but the referees gave it to him, and can't take that stat away from him.
True that.
Another bunch formation on the right
They
side.
just ran the same exact play, and this time
Watts
Lujan was covered.
getting away from a couple of defenders intended for Lujan and incomplete. And so it'll be 3rd and 15 after Watts took a lick there. So 3rd and 15 as a couple of new River guys come in. Rotation on the offensive line. Watts is looking winded, hands on his knees as he was getting the play call.
Yeah, well, he just ran about 32 yards and took a hit afterwards, so I'd be tired too. My back hurts right now just standing for an hour and a half.
Can't disagree with you there. Tight end down on the right side. Empty formation for Watts. He's going for the deep ball to Jake Ayers down the field, and just through his fingertips. It looked like just out of reach to Jake Ayers at about the 14-yard line. It'll be 4th and 15 now.
I'll tell you, that was the best drawn play, the best timed play, the best protection that River has had all day. He's got all day to throw. Man beats him down, and he just
past the fingertips.
Just throws it past his fingertips.
Great effort by Jake Ayers running the post pattern on that last one.
Almost like they did those first 2 plays to set that up. Kind of a similar formation. They kind of went down and out quick, and now they're going to punt. Or will they? Yes, they will.
Kate Lujan will actually punt this time.
That's a good punt. That'll get him inside the 10 probably, or right about the 10.
High bounce, and they get the River roll.
Oh, yeah.
Can it get down to the 5? It will get down to the 5-yard line. And a touchdown by number 17, Aiden Flores. So Hockinson will take over 1st and 10 from their own 5-yard line. A weird sequence for Columbia River there on that drive. They had that punt. That ended up in a penalty for running into the kicker, then a fake punt, and then another big play by Kate Lujan down the sideline.
Kind of fitting that a defensive-dominated game. Here we are with 8:40 left. Now will be decided with the team starting the ball right at their own 5, facing a defense that has been tough and tenacious all day. Do have Oldham back in quarterback.
Wheeler in the backfield.
Blitz up the middle.
Out to Juarez in the flat. And that's a gain of about 2 or 3 yards after the swing pass.
Oh, it's amazing the way this game's going. You get a guy out in space and he just gets 3 yards. It feels like he got 20. It's been so hard, such tough sledding for offenses.
So 2nd and 7 from the 8-yard line. And if you're Hockinson, you might want to be thinking about running this ball a bit more, taking some clock right now.
They just have
you want a couple of first downs, really, is more of what you want.
You're going to do a jet
and then
sweep
you can start
here.
running the ball.
That's the first time he's gotten loose all day on that, really. We got to hold.
There's a flag.
Yeah, that's going to come back.
Juarez got the edge. Sturdivant forcing him out of bounds, making the tackle at about the 16-yard line.
And I think it was Johnson that caught his guy either in the back or a little bit of a tug on his jersey. Saw it. It's going to come back now. That will pin them probably pretty deep.
It'll be, well, if it's inside of 10, it'll be half the distance to the goal.
Blocking the back,
Blocking the back, yep. So that also is half a distance to the goal.
Yeah, you see Johnson right there, pushes his man in the back. Just might as well had a spotlight on him on that play.
So they started out at the 5-yard line. Now they're at their own 3. 3.5, 4.
Got Northrum up at the far end.
Play action fake over the middle, caught and brought down by Ayers. Making the catch was Noah Pryor.
Just a huge play right there. You're dribbling inside your own 5. Just a little play action, boom, boom, first down.
Yeah, just that pass over the middle and talk about huge separation away from the goal line. Much needed for Hockinson. They move those chains, fresh set of downs. Now you can get into that process that I was just talking about. You probably want to pick up maybe 1 or 2 more first downs, really drain this clock. So Pryor bunched in. 2 receivers, top of the screen. Play action, and slant pattern to Johnson, makes a catch, makes one defender miss, and he's brought down by Aiden Flores and Dylan Keir.
All the throws I've seen Oldham make today, that is the throw that he does most accurate, is right on time. That little play action dump later over the middle on a slant. Just seen back-to-back plays there. He's hit that repeatedly today.
Found that window between a couple River defenders. Handoff to Wheeler. Halter and Sturdivant are there, along with Casanova on the tackle. Gain of 3, it'll be 2nd and 7. As we're getting closer to halfway through this fourth quarter.
You sure wonder how different this game, or at least Hockinson, would look if Daniel Thompson were involved, because their running game has just really been mostly non-existent. And Wheeler's had ripped a couple off, and he's kind of, they're got to pick up tough yards and get 4 or 5 yards here and there, but he's not their big hitter. And without their home run hitter, they just haven't been able to pick up yards on the ground.
Pass play outside to Juarez, broken up by Sturdivant, so that'll stop the clock in favor of Columbia River. It'll be 3rd and 7.
Really nice play there to bat that ball down. Not only does it stop the play, force a 3rd down, it stops the clock, which, as you mentioned, with 6 minutes left is important.
Hawks still lead by 3, 9-6 over Columbia River. River scored on their very first possession, a touchdown to Jacob Heirs. Northrup makes the catch on the wide receiver screen, broke away from one tackle, and Dylan Keir able to wrap him up and bring him to the ground.
I think he picked it up. He landed over the defender and stretched the ball out. He couldn't move down in front of the chains, and yeah, they're moving him. So it is a 1st down, a tough pickup there. A really nice play.
Northrup proving his worth right now for this Hockinson team.
See him kind of, as he gets tackled, he lands and then pivots and twirls around to stretch out that ball and pick up the 1st down.
So we're now under 6 minutes left in the game. Columbia River needs a couple of stops here.
And as you pointed out a couple plays ago, this is where it gets, game-winning time for Hockinson, because they can just kind of plod ahead a little bit, run that clock, as they're going to do right here.
Oldham with the QB keeper up the middle, and that one looks to go for about 6 yards.
Because that clock is not your friend, obviously, if you're River. And as we count down from 5:15 and down, you're looking at a backup quarterback. Even if you get a stop, a lot of field to go now, because you're changing fields at worst, and at best you're picking up 1st downs and gaining yards if you're Hockinson. So really holding all the momentum and all the cards right now.
Spread formation still for Hockinson. Draw play to Wheeler. He's got some space. Already picked up the 1st down and brought down on the Columbia River side
There's a flag.
of the 50. And we've got a flag in the backfield. It looks like he's moving it up to about where the initial line of scrimmage was. And there was a hold on Hockinson. So that'll back up the Hawks. And if I remember my rules correctly, that also stops the clock for Hockinson.
Boy, that takes away a 1st down on that draw play that we've seen them execute a couple of times successfully, and that's going to really pin them back. Let's see where they spot this ball. Here, let's see if it looks like up top.
Yeah, Casanova was trying to, he wanted the flag called, and he got it.
Yeah, I think it was Brandt on the coverage there. Yeah, and so we're looking at a 2nd and 14.
This is exactly what River needs, though. Backing up the Hawks here.
They're going to go to the air. I'm a little surprised.
Over the middle to Northrup, and he's got it!
There it is.
Sturdivant and Heirs there to make the tackle at about the 42-yard line. It was 2nd and 14 from the 31.
We have not seen a lot of offensive fireworks tonight, but often when Hockinson has been involved in it, it's been through Northrup, and he makes arguably the 2 best, or definitely the 2 biggest catches of the game. The touchdown down here on the left corner, and then a huge 1st down.
A 27-yard pickup for Northrup. Going back to the air. Swing pass to Juarez. Got Sturdivant to miss. He's going down the sideline and pushed out by Casanova, Keir, and it looked like Heirs as well. But another 1st down for Hockinson.
I know these guys haven't played in a lot of these big moments if you're Hockinson, because...
Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. They're saying that he stepped out of bounds, so he did not get the 1st down.
Gotcha. What I was going to say is, it's a program that's won 6 titles, league titles in a row, been so successful statewide. And although a lot of these guys haven't been in those moments, they've been around the program, and it's these moments, these winning moments that Hockinson so often over the years delivers, and we're seeing them deliver right now as Wheeler picks up a 1st down on 2nd and short.
And 4 picks up 6 and a first down. And that'll bring up 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line with under 4 minutes to go now in the fourth quarter.
Boy, now you just get that feeling. It's just a matter of running down that clock, kind of delaying the inevitable. And I think it looked like River was going to call a timeout, and I think they will with 3:44 left. So not exactly the game we expected. Not a lot of offensive firepower, obviously, but you know, of course, injuries just played such a factor in that, and you just wonder how different this game, you know, could have been. Both teams were healthy. If Purdy hadn't have gotten hurt so early in the game.
I think that's the biggest thing for Columbia River. I mean, you lose your starting corner, you lose your starting quarterback, obviously the same player, but I mean, that's detrimental. I mean, the guy who runs your offense is no longer out there, and I'm sure they have all the confidence in Adam Watts, but there's just something about not having your team leader, your senior out there leading the team. It just changes the whole dynamic.
Changes everything. And what we had seen early in the game from Purdy before he got hurt was he was making plays. He showed up. He had a couple of really nice throws on the run, evading some of that pressure that we've talked so much about from Hockinson. And when you lose that dual threat, that guy who can make a play on the run against that pressure, it really kind of gets you behind the 8 ball. And that's what we've seen all day. It just feels like River's been behind the 8 ball all game.
2 receivers on the near side. Wheeler goes in motion. Slant pass to Northrup, makes the catch on Lujan. A flag is down at about the 28-yard line.
Man, Northrup is just so fun to watch. You're just kind of waiting for him to make a play. You're assume he's going to do it, and you're just waiting for when it's to happen. As we see, let's see where the penalty is. Might be tough. Nice little crossing pattern, nice catch, and then he drags Lujan there for a few yards. Have not seen a call on what.
Yeah, the referees are still talking.
They're still conferring. They're right there in the middle of the Hockinson huddle. Let's see what the call is here. Still no signal from the official. Oh, a hit to the helmet, to the helmet on River, and that's gonna, boy, that might just about do it in this game, giving them a huge free penalty with the helmet, and that's gonna put them down to the 10. Looks like they might just have enough to get a first down, but if not, it's 1st and 10, 3:38 left. See if they try to punch it in under center. We haven't seen that a lot. Hand off to Wheeler up the gut, and he gets inside the 5. And now it just feels like it's inevitable at this point, barring some kind of turnover. What a gutsy performance, though, by two really talented teams. 2 teams kind of factoring in for that. I don't know if there's a league title this year with just the 5 games, but factoring in to be that top team in the Greater St. Helens League. And there's Wheeler again off the left side, rumbles into the end zone. Wow! Just manned his way through. It looked like he was going to be tackled 3-4 times, fights through all the arm tackles and punches it into the end zone. And I think that's going to about do it here with 2:56 left. Watch him, fades 1, 2, spins around, 3. Guys on his feet, guys at his neck. And then he punctuates it with the fist pump.
Yeah, Wheeler would not be denied on that run. Now it's 15-6, the Hawks lead. The extra point up, and it looks to be good. And that'll make it a 10-point lead for Hockinson with under 3 minutes left to go in the fourth quarter.
It kind of takes a little bit of any late game drama out of the equation here, barring some kind of kickoff return or some kind of big play. That you really get the feeling that about ices things here. maybe if Purdy's out there, you have a chance to kind of direct the offense, in a 2-minute drill. But I don't know how many times Watts has engineered that, certainly at this level.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, you really have to think about how different this game has gone than what we originally thought was going to happen. We knew Purdy was going to put up some numbers. We'd already seen it in the first few games. And then unfortunately had a shoulder injury in the first quarter, and it's basically derailed the offense for Columbia River minus a few plays here and there.
Yeah, well, you think you work all week, right? And you craft a game plan around your opponent based on your starting quarterback who has the, Rick Steele at Hockinson says is their go-to guy. He makes everything run, and when you lose that guy that makes everything run, and I think what we've seen is the result of that. Your playbook gets trimmed back. You just don't have that it factor, and they've certainly been lacking that it factor today.
Well, this isn't Rivers' last game, but it was senior day, so it's always that bit tougher for those guys.
I will say that we didn't know if we were going to have a senior day this year, so it's nice at the and that's
an onside kick, not really though, a squibber, and able to jump on top of that one was number 24, Caden McDonald.
It's just one of those deals where you don't want to kick it deep to even give him a chance to return anything. Maybe didn't want it to go quite like that, though.
I was going to say, they almost recovered the kick there.
Yeah. Now we'll see what we got to go to Sturtevant, I guess, here, right? I mean, he's been your biggest weapon so far, and they are conferring. He and Watts, as they break the huddle, he's going to line up in the slot on the right side.
Herrera running to the tight end spot on the near side. So two receivers on the near side with a tight end. Empty backfield with Watts.
And they will go to Sturtevant over the middle and just off his fingertips.
Just out of his reach, almost making the interception on that one was James Cruz. And so it'll be 2nd and 10, 2:50 left to go here in the fourth quarter.
I think it's just one of those deals where you hope to get a little positive play. Maybe he breaks a tackle over the middle and can streak ahead. I don't know if these guys have a 55-yard pass in their playbook right now with their current personnel. So,
well, another empty set for Watts. 3 receivers and a tight end to the left. Easily through the line are a couple Hawks defenders. And a flag thrown on the back end over here away from where the ball was thrown. We'll see what the play or what the call is. The flag is at the 48-yard line.
I think Johnson got again in the backfield on a holding call. He was right there near the play. Kind of has a guilty pose to him. It looked like he was
There's also a flag on the far side of the field as well.
Yeah, you're right. I thought there might have been a passing interference on that play. It looked like he got there a little early over the back. But we saw this flag that's closer to us on the near side. We might have a holding in the backfield and a passing interference. Those are my 2 calls of the day as we have 2:44 left.
Well, the referee's conferring. Let's see what they call here.
They're marking something off, so it's definitely on
Hockinson. On Hockinson. Yep, we got a hold on Hockinson.
That's
that
declined.
One is declined, and then a pass interference on Hockinson. And that one will be, that is the first down for Rivers. Are both fouled on Hockinson. 2:44 left to go in the fourth quarter. 10-point lead for Hockinson. Same formation as before. 3 receivers and a tight end to the left. Ayers alone at the top of the screen.
Blitz up the middle again.
Over the middle, it was 4 errors. He wasn't looking for it quite yet. It was right by his head and incomplete. Here's one more look at.
Look at that pressure right up the middle.
Yeah, you got 3 guys on a de facto 3-step drop, and you already have that pressure in your face. Lujan, Flores, and Sturtevant. Now Sturtevant is going to go in the backfield with Watts. Tight end Herrera on the near side. Corner blitz. Sturtevant picks it up.
He's going to run for it. No?
Watts turns his body. He's got an open air, and it's broken up. He had the open man and Ayers back in the middle of the field, but the athletic play trailing back and breaking up that pass was Jason Kerr.
Boy, I tell you what, they had a man back wide. I mean, he was open.
Yeah, there's nobody by Ayers.
You lead him just a little further, and boy, he's running in the backside throw. He just couldn't get enough on the ball to get it up. And a nice leaping play to break that up. It's a really nice play by Kerr there.
Impressed with Watts, the ability to watch his left square his body and get some mustard on that one. Unfortunately, just not enough. Sturdivant in the pistol formation, fakes the handoff. Watts rolls out to his left, stops. Now he throws back over the middle of the field and almost intercepted by Kerr this time. Watts trying to draw the defense to the near side, throw on the backside to Sturdivant. But the defense ready for it in Hockinson. It'll bring up 4th and 10.
Kerr, just such a nice, I feel like we've called his name about 13 to 23 times a day. He seems to be all over the field, especially here late. Nice play there to bat that down. I think he was kind of hoping to walk away with a pick on that one. A little disappointed as he bangs the turf afterward. And then with 2:22 left, this is all or nothing here on a 4th and 10.
Flores, Sturdivant, and Herenia, the tight end on the near side. Lujan and Ayers. Throws it with his left hand to Sturdivant, and it looks like he's got the first down. Where are they going to mark him?
First down. He's giving it to him.
They're going to give him the first down. And what a play by Watts with the pressure around him. Got it to his left hand, and able just to flick it forward enough.
Yeah, he goes up he feels the pressure, runs up the middle, has to switch the ball and just flips it with his left hand. And who else? Sturdivant there to catch that, extend outward for the first down. Not over yet. Not
Keeping
over yet.
themselves alive. Just over 2 minutes left to go here in the 4th quarter.
Got time here.
Over the middle, high pass and intercepted.
How fitting.
Northrup with his 2nd interception of the game.
How fitting in this defensive battle that Northrup makes this play to end it. And unfortunately, oh no, he is slow to get up. Looks like as he makes this play, you see him. Let's see what happens. Did someone land on his leg?
I don't know if he landed on his leg so much. He hit the ground pretty hard.
Yeah.
But he's slow to get up. Watts.
And he looks like he's in a little bit of pain there.
4th turnover for Watts through the air.
Man, and as the trainer comes out yet again in this game, man.
And it looked so innocent
Yeah,
on that one. The
it
way
did.
he caught it, the way he was tackled, it didn't look like anything malicious happened. Maybe just hit the ground a bit hard.
Hopefully it's just he pulled a muscle or something. And now he pops right back up and goes off. You'd love to see that after what we've seen so far today.
Just had some of that soccer magical water,
Yeah.
Rub that on his shin. He was ready to go.
The only thing missing was the stretcher to carry him off the field. Yeah, and that'll about obviously wrap it up, barring some remarkable recovery here. And man, Northrup just all over the field today, scoring touchdowns, picking the ball off, played quarterback on the one drive.
I was going to say, you're right, he was really doing it all. He threw the ball a little bit. He ran it from the quarterback position. He had that back shoulder catch for the touchdown that tied the game up at 6. Wheeler takes the handoff up the middle. Keir making the tackle, wrapping Wheeler up at the legs.
I know, Rick Steele he really thinks that Northrup's a guy with college potential, kind of a small college guy that scouts are going to be looking at, and we've seen nothing to dispel that idea today for a guy who's just been all over the place.
Straight athlete as a timeout was called. The upcoming schedule. On Thursday, Hudson's Bay heads to Fort Vancouver. That game will be at 7 p.m. And then back to football on Friday. Union and Skyview facing off here at Kiggins Bowl. And then Castle Rock against Fort Vancouver on Saturday at 1 p.m. And such a great job VPS Game Time has done putting all these games on broadcast with nobody allowed in the stadiums or in the gyms for volleyball or anything like that. So thank you to everybody. And it's a great setup that they have going here.
It really is, and it's something that we've appreciated for so long now. But you really appreciate it under these circumstances when you just can't go watch, and so it really is a blessing. I think they might just kind of sit on this here to run out the clock. Oh, run up the gut.
And a handoff to Wheeler up the gut. Taking a couple River kids with him, and he ends up at the 35-yard line. A first down for Hockinson, and that was the first snap that we saw them take under center today. And Wheeler just churning those legs, took here with him for a couple of yards.
Sure not the way I know River wanted things to end here today, but you have to be impressed with how they responded, losing pretty very early in the game to hang tough until late against the 6-time reigning champs who seemingly never lose.
Another handoff to Wheeler up the middle, tackled by Herenia. Pickup of about 5.
Yeah, and here as Hockinson kind of runs out the clock on another win, they'll win their 5th in a row against River, move to 39-2 in their last 41 games, and 30-1 in the Greater St. Helens League over the last 7 years. So really just a dominant run by that program.
So we enter the final 30 seconds of gameplay. Five seconds until the play clock is dead, and the knee taken by Jared Oldham. And that one should wrap things up here at Kiggins Bowl. Columbia River came out, scored first. They were leading 6-0 through the first quarter and most of the second quarter. It was Hockinson who came down, back shoulder throw to Andre Northrup. That tied the game up just before half, and then Hockinson got a field goal and a touchdown in the second half, and that is your difference. 16-6 between these two teams. And Joe, we expected a close one, maybe not such a defensive battle between these two teams, but what did you see today?
Man, I saw two teams struggle to generate any consistent offense because of so much pressure up front, so much, and looking at River, just a strong secondary play. And when Purdy went out in the first, it really just set them back and handicapped them for most of the game. You tip your hat to Watts, who played admirably and really kind of kept River into it, but he just couldn't do what Purdy does. He doesn't have that experience and the grasp of the playbook. As we see him right here, some second half highlights. This was the play of the day for River there with that beautiful throw and catch. But these kind of highlights were few and far between today. It was really tough sledding, and this was the drive that kind of changed the game. They're going down, seemingly have momentum, making plays right and left, and they get down. And then this was the big one that got them down into the red zone.
And then the interception on the high throw, Northrup, that was his first of 2 interceptions in the second half. And it was just too much. And the turnover bug for Columbia River, they had 4 interceptions plus a fumble on the ground.
And then here's Northrup on offense with the really nice catch and run. Looked like he was going to break it for a while, bumped into his own man, but it's still a nice play to set up what ended up being, the game-winning score.
This is actually a nice play. I believe it was Casanova here, the defensive lineman, chasing down the quarterback, Jared Oldham, for the sack. And at that moment, it seemed like River had some type of momentum. Now we've got the fake punt from Lujan. And this was another big play that gave River a bit of a spark offensively to move the ball. Unfortunately, they got stopped at about midfield after that.
Yeah, and then afterwards, Wheeler with just the punishing run into the end zone to give us the final score, and you can see how excited he is, and kind of running out the clock here is Watts with a really nice little left-handed throw, pitch and catch there. So yeah, I wish that we could have seen these teams at full strength. I wish we could have seen Purdy play the whole game. I wonder how different the outcome would have been, how different the game would have gone, but we don't get to make those decisions, so we'll settle for what we got. Defensive-minded game, and then the injuries, of course.
Well, that wraps it up here at Kiggins Bowl. Brian Slegg and Joe Freeman, a 16-6 victory for Hockinson over Columbia River. Remember to stay home and stay safe so we can stop this curve, get everybody back into normal life. And we thank you for joining our broadcast. And remember, volleyball coming up next week and football back again on Friday and Saturday on VPS Game Time.